Okay, the live stream should be starting up soon. Please give me a moment to make sure everything is set on up. Feel a little bit better today. My throat doesn't seem too bad, though still a little bit sick. Hopefully I'm able to do these casts for longer. Yesterday when I was, for those who may not know, likely everybody who's probably watching this video, I tried to cast Age of Empires 2 yesterday for my, of course, my weekly schedule of streaming Age of Empires 2 replays. And right now I'm a bit sick, and so there was a point where I simply couldn't cast anymore because of my throat. Even now I sort of still feel the same effect, but nothing too bad. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll get everything sort of sorted out. I think I got all the streams up and going. Yep, that's going, that's going. I'm going to check my other computer. It seems like everything is good to go over here. I just need to, something I should have done before I started the stream is actually find a replay for everybody. That would be my bad. Let's see now. AoE 4 on. Let's see. Got somebody online. Where's his name? Got some custom. Solo ranked. In the last. No, I think I actually did cover that one. So. Guess there's not any replays here. I try to avoid the customs since they tend to be modded with something. Here we go. Let's see, 21 minutes. Date 7th. 7th's getting pretty close to the edge. It's when I started casting, so I don't think I should cover him, since I've already perused those replays, and I'll probably select the same one. Here we go. Here's some recent ones. 11 minutes? Nope. 11 minutes? Nope. 8 minutes? Even less? Nope. Or even more? Nope. 10 minutes? Nope. 17 minutes? 7 minutes? 10 minutes? 19 minutes? 12 minutes, 13 minutes. Not a whole lot to choose here. Oh, we got one on the 9th. That one's hidden. Everything else is a little bit older. So let's go to that one that was 17 minutes. It was a Roos Mirror, or 19 minutes. And we'll start with this one here. Go back over here, make sure I can see everything's going over here. Also, check my other computer real briefly. And let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the south side as the Cyan Roos, we have November 10th. Spawn on the north side as the Yellow Roos, we have Lucy, Fro, and N. In which both of them are, of course, Roos. We'll likely see out a early scout from the hunting cabin. We will, for both sides. Both sides will be going hunting down all these animals. It looks like the sign does find some early deer. Yellow has not found any deer just yet. Oh no, he did find some deer here. In fact, found his bowfruits deer. One of them did manage to survive. It also does matter if they find wolves, because they will want to kill off these wolves. Looks like the sign's doing a good job of finding these wolves. course, I have Cyan perhaps selected, so I will not be able to see wolves fighting there. Looks like Cyan and Yellow are engaging. They see a bit of damage, and this wolf will be spotted and will be killed off by one of these two players. They're playing tug of war with a wolf, and over here we do have the Gremlin being pulled out. Over here, of course, we got the Gremlin being pulled on out. This wolf is being picked apart. Looks like both players have gone for 3 scouts. Really eyeing for that fur trade that they have. Let's do a quick look. Let's see how many carcasses or wild animals each player has killed. Cyan has, looks like, killed off 215. You need 250 to get the next tier, so if he needs just a little bit more. And Yellow is at 240, needs a little bit more as well. So both of them needs to eye getting out some more kills. So both of them could potentially go for early boar in order to help improve that. Both of them now have aged up. Both of them now going for wheelbarrow. And now I've got these scouts getting some damage there onto these villagers. Of course, scouts have 1 attack, so they're absolutely abysmal versus these villagers. Villagers do have 50 health, so it'll take 50 slices for these scouts to do anything. These militia could go back around, and there's actually an absurd amount of stone being collected right there. Both sides going for a heavy amount of stone. They're going for the town center, that's why. I play too much Mongols, so I forget that the fact that town centers cost stone and not just 900 wood. Now looks like these villagers have touched enough stone there. My apologies if you heard my drink. And wait a second. Cyan has claimed 366. Oh, it's 350, not 400. My bad. And now got this militia. They have 20 seconds left at the time life. They will get some damage onto these villagers. So looks like Yellow has claimed this 350 stone there, and will potentially build his town center somewhere. Those militia has expired now. Yellow still has 3 scouts and now a single early knight. Blue or Cyan has deployed another pair of militia and now pushing forward with his scouts as well. It looks like Yellow scouts, there's one that's really wounded. The other 2 are quite healthy. Cyans are a little bit wounded here as well, and does get a first alpha strike onto one of the Cyan scouts. Militia do bonus damage versus cavalry, so they will do decent work versus the early knight. And all these forces will go and clean up these militia. Yellow town center is almost complete. Cyan has built his town center, claiming all those deer carcasses. And now Yellow's advancing forward of all these militia members. He does have 12 civilians, or not civilians, villagers here, and immediately task these other 2 to go around to the berry bushes. There's no passive auto attack on the expansion town center, since the landmark one does, of course, get a basic auto attack. These expansion ones do not. They have to be garrisoned. And those militia will be ripped apart. Cyan scout, one of them is severely wounded. Both of Yellows are quite wounded. If Cyan's able to pick up one of these scouts, then his other one should be able to deal with the other one, no problem. Do now how the early knight and scout push away forward. Do got a single spearman to escort these villagers. They're building something over here. I'm not so sure what. I don't see a scaffolding or anything sort just yet. They just have the hammers out from being miners, I guess. Villager will get a good stab there onto the early knight, getting multiple good amount of damage there. Villagers they're going to stand there and fight, giving some damage on the scout. Now I've got the spearmen still streaming on forward as well. I love how the points on both players are the same. It's just amusing to me. And the boar has been aggroed right there. And now we got got the spearmen here and the boar supporting yellow as well. Got a handful of militia here. The early knight's almost down. Even the scouts pose a massive threat to that early knight. With 2 scouts here, they just need to take 2 quick stabs. It does kill off the boar there, so going out of town center or hunting cabin nearby would be quite beneficial, but there's just too many yellow militia now in the region. Sion does have a handful of militia in the region. They're currently dancing around, trying to go for a town center placement here. Yellow's militia still has 30 seconds remaining. Does start the scaffolding there, does trap the scout right there, and the scout will be stabbed by the villagers. The villagers do successfully shank that scout. Does start building the town center as well, which also reduces the pathing right there. So that's excellent play right there by Sion. You would assume going for the town center like that would be a bad idea, but actuality, he placed that scaffolding, quickly built up a little bit, and that limited his opponent's mobility, which is very good. Of course, it does pose some risk since the scaffolding has minimal health, like 200 health, I think it was. So it could be quickly taken out if it goes wrong. Especially at this point in the game, I think torches do, what, 10 damage? Even from a scout, torches do 13 damage right now. You got a large number of early knights as well as some not so early archers. Town center has been completed. That will, of course, lock down the area. Plus, gain that boar. The boar... Oh, does also repair it up. I would say harvest that boar when he gets a chance, because the boar does harvest quicker than other sources of food. We do got a good number of spearmen here, which will pose a problem to the early knights, but they will be countered by these little archers. Running down some of these spearmen is also very, very good. Takes out 2 of those spearmen. Does have a decent number here, trying to fight towards this town center. This town center is garrisoned with something. I don't believe it's... Okay, it was villagers, never mind. These early knights, of course, patrolling around. There's currently 8 villagers in the region, which can be the town center can garrison every single one of them. And now we got a line of walls being blown out over here as well. Yellow has a very, very good number of early knights here with a scout for spotting, which is a very good combination. Sion does have an adequate defense force, including some of his own early knights as well as the spearmen. Sion does have his town center collecting some berry bushes here, some feral forays, so he's able to claim the deer and the berry bushes. And now even now the boar carcass is being collected as well. We got the Abbey of Trinity being poured out. Okay, that's actually a little bit uncommon. Most people go for the High Commerce Center building, which is the advanced hunting cabin, which provides some good gold generation as well as food generation in the form of deer. Additionally, those additional deer result in higher fur trades to max out your extra gold generation. It's a very, very solid economic landmark. Basically, imagine it's a improved farm with the faster gathering rates of the deer. So I wonder if you get all the economic researches, the horticultural and all that stuff, food gathering technologies, would it be equal to collecting deer? The deer do require a different technology, survival instinct. And so maybe get even out, but even then, that's still a good economic landmark in between that and the late age of all technology research. Plus, you don't have to research any technology with that one. And you get basically 8 villagers with task on a superior food source. With a hint of gold generation. Plus, killing off the extra deer gives you some extra gold. So you got the knight upgrade there, so these are no longer early knights, but just knights. And now they're going to say nighty knight to that knight. Oh, nope, guess they're not. The early knight's now pursuing the knights. He does have, of course, a spearman here, which still pose a big threat to these knights. And Sion has not researched tier 3 just yet, or even started building up his landmark. So So Yellow's going to have a pretty good economic advantage, or technology advantage for the time being, but Cyan does have superior number of villagers. He's of course deployed out 3 towns, his opponent only has deployed out 2. I do now have the wooden fortress is being built, and now we do have the spearman getting some damage in there as well. We do now have another hunting cabin being plotted there. There's a lot of unclaimed deer, sort of spoiling away there, though then again in this game there's no spoilage. The early knights are falling back from the regular knights. We do have +1 range armor for Yellow as well. He's the one to deploy out all the archers. Got militia now in the mix, being picked off as well. Early knights advancing forward. Militia do receive more of those hits there. And now Yellow does fly out a large militia of his own. Yellow and Cyan now engaging each other. I think Yellow's going back on off. So far, mostly just his militia is going down. Some of his archers are getting hit. His knights are still quite healthy. And Cyan's going to be backing off with his spearman. He's trying to bring these guys over to the wooden fortress, who's currently garrisoned by 8 sultans. I'd say what the garrison with, but seeing this 15 villagers idle, and call it maybe 8 villagers on the inside of that wooden fortress. In fact, there was 8 villagers. We got these villagers here, going to be quickly overwhelmed by these knights. They do get inside the wooden fortress there. A couple of them did go down there, I believe. These archers backing off, receive a bit of fire there. And this knight has received quite a bit of fire. Oh, here we got the knight engaged in the town center. Town center does have 2 villagers on the inside. This one is not rallying further villagers in there. And she will go down. You got this large force of spearmen and archers in the region. Cyan still is not going to get the next age. Going for a line of technologies here, but he may need to get the next age sooner rather than later. Yellow, I wonder if Yellow should realize that he actually is an age ahead for such a long time. Because at this point in time, you may not realize your opponent has or has not aged up sometimes. You just assume sometimes you may just assume that he's already aged up. But currently, not this case. Not this case. Yellow could eye for a lot of extra technologies and say get it to level 2 melee and armor, which will give his current force a substantial boost compared to his opponent. This wooden fortress is going to try to defend itself with some arrows. And with the amount of archers he's being fired from now, he does have +1 pierce armor. He could go for 2. These archers currently have 6 attack, in which these knights have 5 armor, so he doesn't actually need more pierce armor for them. But he could always go for more pierce armor on his own archers. And there are veteran archers as well, as opposed to these archers. Battering rams now being pulled on the front line, very nice. Warrior Monk does take out some of these early knights. The Warrior Monks do currently have 11 attack, 120 health, 1.75 attack speed, as the early knights have 1.5 attack speed, has 22 attack. Overall, the monks do have a little less rate of hitting as opposed to early knights, but do hit harder and have more health currently, so I'm not sure who actually wins on fight 1v1. Be relatively close. Spearmen and archers are trying to engage his forces. The veteran archers should be able to do some great work versus these spearmen. These spearmen are just not upgraded. They do have +1 pierce armor, but that's about it. This wooden fortress is now set ablaze. The wooden fortress will go down. And now Jacob's got these bannerams here as well. The villagers have been brought in the mix as well, trying to deal with the battering ram. These spearmen and knights are getting overwhelmed by Yellow's knights and archers. Yellow's knights going to have able to overrun these unupgraded archers, no problem. When we play around the town center, fire some additional arrows there. and Yellow's Banner Ram's now taking out some farms. It's not actually half bad. At this point in time, people don't spend wood on farms, so Cyan does have a massive reserve of wood. Yellow's force here is getting quite wounded. Cyan's force is getting slowly built apart. Let's take out those forces inside the urban area. Villagers have been cast off the line. If we bring villagers on to fight knights, you're basically screwed. Cyan does actually have a superior number of villagers, so he can afford to lose some. And Cyan does back to the game now. It's Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Overall, great game by both players, but Yellow had a pretty solid grasp of the game. Let's see now. Another person to cast. Got some customs, got some solo ranks. Let's take a look at the solo ranks. 15, 13. 22, perhaps maybe not another Roost Mirror. 9. Ooh, 28. Back over the Rumble so I can see any comments that pop up. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the left side as the pink Abbasid dynasty, we have Kill Jarodi. On the right side as the blue French, we have Vortexi. Vortex. He's building a house next to a mining camp that does not improve anything, like some other civilizations. We've of course do got the mill here. They do have a inherent benefit of making these berry bushes have additional food onto them, but if I remember correctly, berry bushes don't collect as fast as sheep. I would say it's probably better. I'm gonna need to look that up, but probably it's a better idea to collect sheep over berries, and then use the berries as a no-cost food income until you get out, say, farms. Got plenty of sheep collected by Pink over here. Blue may not have picked up a lot of sheep. Blue may be a bit unlucky finding sheep actuality. I can hear Pink finding a whole bunch of sheep, but look, Pink did a great job with the sheep, but Blue has not have any. We got now School of Cavalry being researched or being built. And now we got a bit of a forceman going out. It looks like he went for the military wing, didn't he? Let's see, economic, culture, trade. Yeah, had to been the military wing. And the military wing does give you a small force to pop on out, which could be a very... Seconds are a timing attack by building a landmark or landmark rush? What's that even called? Either way, Blue's not eyeing to grab some of this deer. There's also some foray nearby, so after he gets stunned with the deer, he can collect some foray. Though the mill is a little bit far away from the foray. We do know how this town center being pulled out. The scout does spot it. And now we do got a knight deployed on the field. Oops, but on half speed. Nice thing about going to the military wing does give you a handful of spearmen to help deal with the Royal Knight. Blue scout's now stabbing Pink scout. And now we've got the spearmen advancing on forward, trying to get some damage onto the Royal Knight. Spearman does get some good damage there on the Royal Knight. And the defensive archers can get some damage as well. They only have 5 attack, and there's 3 pierce armor on the Royal Knight, so they only do 2 damage per arrow. Not exactly great. Our knight coming in once again. Spearmen do not get any stabs there. And if you're able to build this town center, this Royal Knight will likely go down to a quick volley of town center arrows. Rose is backing off from the region now. He is not going for the health regen technology just yet. It's a little bit expensive this moment of time. Scout and Knight will be backing on off. Looks like Blue's eyeing for a town center here. Will be bitten by the exotic Dogi. Pink's now going for a handful of Palisade Walls here. This Knight is now going back on the line, but it, of course, is still quite wounded, can easily be forced back. Also got some additional Spearmen being pulled out Pink, because he knows he's against playing his French. You know he's going to go for some early Royal Knights. Golden Age Tier 1 have been activated. Now there's 3 Royal Knights advancing on forward. That should be enough alpha damage to take out a villager. Yep. And now they're going to quickly pick off 2 villagers right there. Very nice. The Lance Charge does 30 damage right now. He has got a +1 melee attack, which so that charge base damage is 29. And villagers have what? Base health of 50? Yes, so you only need 2 Royal Knights to get a Lance Charge onto a villager to kill it off. And of course the added effect that they get bonus damage as well. So if he were to be a bit more aggressive micro, he could split up his knights in groups of 2 and start hunting down individual villagers. But now we do have some pink horsemen here. And it looks like Pink's horseman will engage Blue's scout. The Blue scout could have picked off that horseman. The horseman has 3 health at the moment. It looks like he is trying to focus on that wounded knight. Horsemen do get the wounded knight there now. It does pick up the wounded horseman in return. That's better for Pink. And Spearman is still trying to advance forward to support these horsemen. And all those horsemen get quickly picked up apart because they're against knights. And knights are, of course, very, very durable. Compared to horsemen. Spearman charging forward, trying to get some damage there. Blue has now gone for a handful of archers to support out his knights. These horsemen are falling on back, trying to avoid these 5 forces. The horses do pick up one of those archers as well. These archers getting hit significantly. They're trying to sprint away. Knights charging forward. They get a bit of an alpha strike there on top of these horses. Spearmen are in the mix now, trying to get some good damage onto these Royal Knights, but there's simply too much force hitting these Spearmen as they're getting sent in one at a time. Royal Knights, a large number of Royal Knights now advancing on forward. These horsemen trying to fall back. And that Spearman does go ahead and go on down. Blue has to pull out some Palisade Walls here. Pink has completed his Palisade Walls. The market is right there, so the market's not currently walled on in. And the steer is still being claimed. We do now have these knights getting some damage onto this housing. As well as that's not a scholar. I don't know why that looked like a priest of some sort. For all the shepherd's hook. Why is a shepherd's hook symbol of well, shepherds, livestock? Why is it a hook? What does a hook actually help out with when it comes to livestock? Try to grab an animal by the neck and sort of guide it. There may be an opening here. There's at least an opening there for archers at least. They get some great damage there. 2 of those villagers do in fact go down. Blue now has 57 villagers. Opponent has 49. And thus Palisade Wall is being under siege. Pink has a large force of horsemen making their way up north. Concentrator does keep that fire there, does take out one of the horsemen there. You now have a Camel Archer deployed on the field. The Camel Archer has the Camel Unease or a debuff to be applied against these Royal Knights, and now we've got the health regen ability as well. Popping off these Knights' health a little bit. It's not exactly fast, but it's nice to have. Plus, the more wounded Knights you have, the more effect it gets of it. These villagers can receive quite a bit of fire from these horsemen. They should be able to pick off at least 3 or 4 of them. He will go and kill off 4 of those villagers there. Very nice. Now got a couple of Royal Knights here for defense. Over here, we do have Blues now advancing forward. Does receive a bit of fire from the outpost. We do not have a Royal Institute being built by Blue. Royal Institute. I can't remember what that landmark did. Yeah, here it is. Royal Knights trying to pursue these horsemen. There should be enough horsemen to overwhelm those Royal Knights. Royal Institute houses all technologies unique to France. Researches 30% cheaper here and ignores age requirements, so he's able to get his Imperial Age technologies immediately. And cheaper. So not bad. Of course, it is his Imperial Age unique technologies. You do know how these Royal Knights are seeing a bit of fire there. Horsemen are charging forward, trying to deal with these knights. Over here, these Royal Knights are advancing forward. We've got a large wave of archers coming along with them. He does have a good force of horsemen, that's for sure. And he only needs one camel and a mix of army to get the aura debuff. He may want to go for a second camel just in case of the first one doesn't get focused down. And now he's going for the economic wing. These forces are advancing forward. Does not get, he needs to get those villagers inside the town center as well. These knights are now upgraded to veteran Royal Knights. These gold miners are trying to run away. The camel cannot move and shoot like Magandais. These gold miners are going to get overwhelmed. He's getting inside this town center with all these villagers. Spearmen trying to come in for support. The camels are having a bit of trouble because they're being unsupported. This camel archer does stay alive. Got now has horsemen now here. The cavalry has arrived. Engage the cavalry. And he still has at least one camel archer here. And luckily, the nice thing about camel archers, they stay in the back. That Royal Knight will get left behind and stabbed to death, but still got a large number of archers here. He just got them upgraded as veteran archers as well. Horsemen's trying to pursue these Royal Knights. These Royal Knights maybe will get some good damage there. He's trying to wall off these Royal Knights, but maybe he's just trying improper time for walling off. Does not trap those Royal Knights there. And now we've got this large wave of archers here. These horsemen only have 2 pierce armor, no pierce armor research as well. So these archers will do some great work there. This outpost may look like stone, but is not upgraded to the fortified outpost. And those are spearmen on the inside, so they can be focused down by the archers, no problem. But they did not get enough damage to those Royal Knights. This town's just firing away with a lot of arrows there. Spearmen, horsemen, and scouts getting some damage there. Horsemen trying to pursue these archers, very good. Spearmen have largely been cleaned on up. Good focus fire there by Blue. Does get the camel as well. The knights are still alive. We're seeing constant town center fire. The extra arrows only do 6 damage each. Got this town center now garrisoned as well. Able to get some extra arrows. And now all these pink villagers are just trying to run away and stay hidden. He is going to try to run with these ones. Pink doesn't have much of an army at all. Or any army, all has 3 military units on the field. Guy has a big wave of camel archers being built. Big and quotes. We got a good number of spearmen being on the build queue as well. And these ones are falling back. They do get some damage there on the Lancer. These pink lumberjacks have not been found. And now I've got these archers and Royal Knights advancing on forward. We do have a small force here. They are veteran spearmen, which would be very nice. He needs to get some more pierce armor and potentially melee armor as well. The spearman's main damage comes from bonus damage, so we don't really need to get the weapon upgrades just yet. but he definitely does need Pierce Armor. Those archers pose a really big threat to him, as well as the Royal Knights. Multiple quick kills there. Getting 3 villagers kills there with that single Lancer. Very nice. The Lancer's not down 4 health. Will likely go down given enough time. But now they're supposed to advance it forward. There's a good garrison town center here, but there's not enough space for all these villagers. Spearmen do get some stun attacks there onto these Royal Knights. Town center may need to be mainly target there in order to hit these archers. The town center can do better work versus archers, and in these urban environments, it's better to hit those archers than the knights. He has plenty of spearmen here to stop these units. Try to build on Mangonel there. Almost got it. Going to be trying to rebuild it up quickly. That Mangonel will be very effective versus archers. Down south, we do have, looks like this monk is trying to claim some relics. Multiple Mangonels are being built. And second site is going to take time to be captured. Blue's now going forward to keep in order to help secure this gold. And this area is a pretty good choke point as well. There's a lot of mountain up here, easy for either player to secure. Though right now there's a pretty direct path into Pink's base. Not so much to Blue's base, as the area has been walled off. Going for a bit of stone there as well. And with the keep here as well, does of course get a pretty nice aura influence. Archery ranges and stables within its influence have their unit cost decreased by 25%. Not barracks for some odd reason. Maybe just want to make sure that you can't deploy out mass man-at-arms to deal with your opponent's spearmen, or spearmen deal with your opponent's horsemen. Keeps now firing away, gains some damage on those forces. And now we do have these villagers to get hit as well. Golden Age Tier 2 has been activated. Increasing villager gathering rate. No, that's still the same gathering rate, just increasing our research speed for the technologies. Pink does have multiple layers of walls here. Now Pink's going to advance forward. Gets a great volley of Mangonel shots there onto those villagers. Those villagers will not last too much longer. Multiple villagers do go down to those Mangonels. Blue's now advance forward with these Royal Knights. These villagers are a bit exposed. Now these knights are in the back line, but Pink's army is making a pretty solid frontal assault, even trying to build some battering rams. Takes out some of these arbaletiers, which will be effective versus these knights. These villagers have not been stopped, or are starting to be overran by those Royal Knights. Magnus going forward. Pink's going for 4 castles. Some of these farms are going down. Pink does have a handful of spearmen here, gets great damage. I think, okay, only 3 of those villagers actually survived. Pink does have less villagers in his opponent, 65 to 97, which actually is quite significant. And Pink's going to eye for our power play, eyeing for a forward keep. Blue does have a defensive keep here, and multiple defensive keeps, but we've got these banner rams in the region. This banner ram has not been completed. Mangonels are still very well secure. And now I've got these horsemen getting spirit hits there onto these housing. More good volleys there, getting more infrastructure down. Have to keep winning this keep. Keeps using more and more fire there. Now Spearman can be eyeing some torches with more banner rams. Blues and Royal Knights still eyeing for villagers, but not finding any. Remember, Royal Knights don't exactly have the greatest vision range. And Pink is putting forward a massive force now. Setting off Blaze multiple farms at once. That keeps now set ablaze. Pink's now going for another forward castle. In range of the primary town center as well. Blue's now fly out a handful of horsemen. These villagers come back on off to the keep. Now I'm going to try and burn down this keep here. And maybe a good idea to cancel it right now, because he may not be able to save it. But now the experiment advancing forward as well. If the Royal Knights can find some more of these villagers, more of them will go down. If Pink's attack does stall out, that's going to be the end of the game for Pink, because he's losing a lot of villagers home, and he has a significant number of villagers up here. Yeah, all these villagers going down. All of his micros being put up forward. He's down to 48, and only a third and 2/3 of those are collecting. The other thirds on in the front line right here. Could build a land. Yeah, he's going to build not landmine, mining camp there in order to collect some stone here. Of course, he need to age up again to get out the cannon placement. Getting some sporadic fire there. You got these battering rams getting some good hits there onto this keep, but a lot of villagers are lighting the torches. Very, very French of them. Blue does have a handful of villagers passive, and now you got this battering ram going down. Great Mangonel hits there on those villagers. Oh, we got some trebuchets being blown outfield, some counterweight trebuchets. Good hits there on the keeps. The battering ram pushing way forward. This keep's almost set ablaze. We got another keep being put out by Pink, and now these villagers trying to stop these battering rams. Blue's deploying a lot of these villagers to deal with these battering rams. Pink is trying to rebuild his villager number as well. And now there's going to be a bit of a triangle of keeps here, but one of them is, of course, almost down. The trebuchets will take it out now. Next rock. Great volley there on those villagers being taken out by those Mangonels, and that keep does go down. These battering rams getting some great work done, but they're almost down. One does go down there. And now I think the keeps are in range of each other. Mangonels getting some shots on some various structures now. And this battering ram will go down as well. Pink has all that stone right there. Pink has 750 stone at the moment. A couple more battering rams being falling out. Mangonel still pushing way forward, trying to get some damage on these various other structures. Battering rams getting some great damage onto this keep now. Mangonel still finds some shots there. More battering rams push way forward. As he starts trying to destroy these battering rams, it will allow him to hit those villagers with these Mangonels. Blue does have another defensive keep here. Now this keep is set ablaze. More. Okay, got a big wave of horsemen and knights here with a large wave of archers, spring balls, and now the mixed bow. Hit there one of the Mangonels, very good. Good splash damage there onto the Arbaletiers plus 4 bowmen. Pink's force here will get overwhelmed. Blue should be able to hold this, reclaim this area. Trebuchets are still uncontested, picking away against these castles, and Pink's army here will be destroyed. He's now trying to abandon these villagers. He has to save these villagers. These horsemen are now in hot pursuit of those said villagers. And Pink does back out the game now, because at this point in time, he lost so much and threw so much in the siege, it was unsuccessful. At this point in time, he just couldn't win out. This is Angry saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. While this is loading, let's go ahead and find another player to cast. Oh, I highlighted apparently everything. Let's see now. Got some recent games, 28 minutes, that's pretty good. But you cast a couple French already, so let's just look around. I already did a Roost Mirror. We could do both the Roost Mirror and the French game. Both of them seem promising. And usually I try not to cast the same person twice in a row, but that shouldn't be too big an issue. Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on the bottom right side as the Orn Deli Sultanate, we have a foreign name. Bottom top left side as the Cyan French, we have Liquid Demu. Wait, I thought it was the Abbasid dynasty that gets extra food from berry bushes. It's both the Deli Sultan and the Abbasid dynasty? I must have been mistaken about that. Oh well. Let's see now. While Scholars take care of some military buildings, so he's getting that research going. Deli Sultan, of course, get free research. Wheelbarrow is definitely a good general purpose technology to go for first. Plus, the other technologies, economic technologies you can't really get early on. Though survival techniques is something also very useful.
Ascolto.
Scout going around. We do, of course, the school of cavalry now deployed on the field. We likely will see some early Royal Knights. Yes, we do. And Scout will spot out everything here. Because maybe he saw the school of cavalry. That's a pretty good, safe assumption. Wonder if Cyan spot out his opponent. At least right there, he should have spot out the mining camp. And now let's go and slow down a little bit. We do now the Royal Knight trying to find his first victim. Mill now going for get up some research as well. And now we do have the Ardent Spearman upgrade as well. Royal Knight will potentially find some hits there on this Orange Scout. And now Cyan's going for these deer. Looks like just going to be only the one Royal Knight. Trying just to corral his opponent, hurt his opponent, and is keeping him in his base. Gonna get enough food as well. And yeah, we'll just fast forward because I'm chasing around the scout. It's nothing too significant. Orange now eyeing for some walls around the sacred site. He may be eyeing for an early sacred site captures. Of course, as well, the infantry forces can build the wall segments. Orange Scout will go down to the Royal Knight. Very nice. Do have a Cyan Scout here as well. And more infantry is being put out by Orange, thinking that he needs to pull out a lot of spearmen and archers to help deal with these Royal Knights. Which, there's now some archers being pulled out by Cyan. And does find himself a wolf there. The wolf does go down. No exotic doggies. And Orange does capture up that sacred site there. Getting a bit of extra gold income never hurts. Search for free. Orange now advancing forward. You got a good number of forces here for Cyan. Going to see a pretty sizable engagement here. Large number of spearmen here. Handful of archers. Cyan does have a handful of archers here as well. Ready to support Royal Knight. Trying to get the Scholar there. Does get a stun hit there onto the Royal Knight there. Managed to pick himself off one. Cyan does have a decent force here, but Orange has a largely superior force. Cyan does have there's a large number of archers here, and now the horsemen trying to overwhelm these archers. The horsemen don't say they have the greatest armor, just two pierce armor, but Orange has enough supporting archers here as well. Cyan's been backing him off, receiving just a bit too much fire, and looks like Cyan just went for his +1 archer attack. Orange has got his +1 archer attack as well. And Cyan also has his +1 melee attack. Orange not going with his +1 pierce armor. And Orange's force does mostly get whirled away by the reinforcing Cyan forces taking on off. It does get the secret site captured, which will net up some good amount of resources. These forces are backing on off, trying to avoid these horsemen. Orange's archers trying to focus fire on Cyan's archer, and he's been very successful. So Orange horsemen trying to pursue these forces as well. And Cyan's going to try to decapture this point as well to do some economic damage to his opponent. Orange has a good number of archers here advancing forward. And now the archers' numbers are relatively similar, 10 to 9 archers. And now Cyan's Royal Knights are charging forward. We got a handful of 60 spearmen here for Orange. May need a little bit more to help deal with those Royal Knights, at least to keep them at bay. Some of the Orange's spearmen are still getting picked on off. Horsemen trying to charge down Cyan's spearmen, getting some great hits there. Royal Knights trying to deal with those horsemen. Orange archers advancing forward uncontested, focus firing down these Cyan archers, and now Cyan's archers will go down, and his horsemen now being focused out as well. Cyan's losing a bit too much military here. These Royal Knights just need to back on off. Cyan just needs to take time to rebuild his military. We do have more archers being pulled on out. Does notice that the secret site is fully encapsulated, and these horsemen will try to get some hits there on these villagers, but they're unsuccessful. Oh, and he's going to take time to deal with this boar. This archer did take a bit of hits there. Compound Defender now being rebuilt by Orange. I can't remember what that one does off my head. It is... Infantry units can build stone walls, gates, towers. That enables that ability. There's a stone cost of buildings, and they're replaced by 20%. Sounds like that affects all, including the villagers. And so having that, your military units able to build stone walls could be very handy indeed if you really want to secure those sacred sites and make them almost impervious to most things, barring a handful of things such as what's called battering rams and traction trebuchets and other siege weapons. But these orange horsemen are getting focused down by the town center. Looks like Orange is coming with some of these relics. Very nice. Lancer now charging the way forward. We got some of these archers here. Royal Institute now being researched by Cyan. If I remember correctly as well, that is the landmark that allows you to research your unique technologies for cheaper. In that single landmark. Lancers do receive a bit of fire there. Science, Royal Knights are charging forward. We do have the Lancer here getting overwhelmed. And now do have these Lancers moving around with the Scout. We've got these Archers and Spearmen here with 2 Lancer support. Keeps acting like town center so that he's getting that technology so he can use his keeps as, well, town centers, as the technology implies. I see a bunch of technology here. Sometimes I just have to highlight the unique ones because I don't remember all on the top of my head. Castle Age has now been obtained for Cyan. Orange is already at Castle Age. And what was this Compound Defender? Royal Knights charging forward. Compound Defenders. Oh yeah, that's that one there. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick today and my memory's not doing good. And right now I feel a little bit feels like my stomach's sort of getting upset while also being hungry at the same time. We're saying don't eat food and eat food at the same time. I have no idea what that means. Royal Knight or Lancer are patrolling around. Does not get any strikes there on these villagers. We got these Royal Knights starting forward, engaging these Lancers in melee. We got a large number of Archers here. They do have a +1 range attack. The Royal Knights do have their +1 Pierce armor, so these Archers will are doing 1 damage per arrow each against these Royal Knights. It's not going to be great for Orange. Besides backing on off, we're seeing a lots amount of arrow fire. They're mostly shrugging all that off. This Wolf, Exotic Doggy, demands head pats from the Scholar, and he's denying him, so he's being bitten by him. Gold Vein now being collected there. Molasses Foray is being collected over here, so those villagers will be out of food source to collect, not food. Step Lancer and Scout pushing around, and we've got these Royal Knights in the region. He will spot these Royal Knights, and he really did spot those Royal Knights. He spotted those Lancers going to his face as well. This Lancer will be killed on off, will spot the Arbaletiers, which is very important. Royal Knights are advancing on forward and falling back, and now advancing on forward, trying to engage those Step Lancers. The Arbaletiers are a good option. Spearmen are a good option versus the Archers and Spearmen, so getting a mix of them will be pretty good as well. He does only need a handful of Archers to deal with the Spearmen, and then his Royal Knights can collapse in on those Archers. Scholar's Sacred Site up here has been captured. This Sacred Site has not been captured. Royal Bloodlines being researched, increasing the max health of these Royal Knights, which is going to be very important indeed. And these Archers do get overwhelmed. Royal Knights now engaging these Lancers. Good number of Archers and Arbaletiers getting some great damage on these various forces. There's no Spearmen left for Orange, so the Royal Knights can charge forward, but may want to hold off for the Royal Bloodlines here. Got a single Lancer here, being annoying, but being hit by these Arbaletiers. He may get one of these villagers, does get one of those villagers. Fresh market being floated by Orange that employs for trades, not for trade caravans. Right now, there's 5 Arbaletiers, 18 Royal Knights, and 21 Archers. Over here, we have 16 Royal Knights, 13 Archers, and 1 Man-at-Arms. Not sure why you got only 1 Man-at-Arms. Maybe I need to get some more Man-at-Arms to help resist the Archer fire, maybe? But even then, Man-at-Arms and probably not a good option at this moment in time. Probably going to plot more Arbaletiers to deal with his opponents, his Lancers, and Man-at-Arms would just be susceptible as well to those sort of thing. So Man-at-Arms, in my opinion, are not a good idea. sure his opponent has a lot of archers they can withstand fire, but the Arbaletiers and Royal Knights will still be very effective versus those man-at-arms. I don't think those man-at-arms will be useful. Good damage there on those Royal Knights, but not with the Arbaletiers in range. Those you can set the town center. More of these Knights do go down, but all the Royal Knights have gone down. Now got these Royal Knights facing forward, receive, and this Lancer will distract this force. This could allow this force to escape, which actually is a bit important, having that force escape. Now L's Sacred Sites have been claimed by Orange. Nope, this one has been decaptured. And the Exotic Dogi does get killed off by these Lancers. Royal Knights do find some good hits there onto these Lancers. And Lancers are may just want to dance. I don't think those Lancers can escape. Archers do get a good volley there, as those Arbaletiers. I think you just need to either try to hit those crossbow with your step Lancers, which they didn't last so long at that part, or run away and didn't last at that part either. Just having to run around, keep your opponent dancing around at home is not always a half bad idea, because the opponent's defending, he's not attacking. We do have a keep here. The keep, of course, does access the town center. Orange can quickly rebuild villagers as using his keeps, but he may be pulling this keep out as a town center to collect the fear. Blue has, or Sun has claimed to build a keep here, and it cannot act as a town center. This Sacred Site not being decaptured. Got the Cyan Force here as well. But both flex, I'm going to fast forward a little bit because it looks like both sides just ecoing up, massing up their forces, macroing up. Now I do have some Mangonels being pulled out, very nice. As well as an outpost. Now Science has captured multiple Sacred Sites. He's putting a bit of push to that. Do got a nice mixed force here, including 2 Mangonels, 13 Spearmen, and a good 17 Archers and 5 Crossbowmen. He may need to get some more Crossbowmen to deal with these Lancers, but he does have a good number of Spearmen to deal with the Royal Knights, and his opponent has not to pull out anything else. But I think a couple more Crossbowmen wouldn't be half bad. So it's going to take time to clear out this Sacred Site's fortifications. We got now 2 man-at-arms mixed into this army here. I don't think that's going to matter much. Sacred Site now being decaptured as well. Cyan does have a superior number of villagers right now, 117 to 85. There are 19 villagers here, and that's a bit too much to get all inside this keep. Of course, you can always keep this other force on the other side of it. Cyan has to pull out some stone walls in this region as well. Sacred Site now being captured on up, Monk here healing on up as well. And the Monk has actually gone off the Sacred Site, which has actually been a mistake. He needs to turn off auto healing. He could actually start a Sacred Site victory in his favor if he's paying a bit more attention. Orange coming in here with a nice little flanking force based on the opponent's current composition, and the Mangonels find a solid hit onto those Arbaletiers. Science Knight sort of backing him off in the moment. Science also building a forward keep. Going a bit more aggressive now with this keep placement. Royal Knights are seeing a bit of fire there. Not a lot of crossbow in this region. He could stand to have more. Spearman, however, getting good hits there. And now these Knights are pretty tightly grouped for the Mangonels. As well, a forward lumber mill as well has a War Elephant. War Elephant's, of course, a very beefy unit. They have a lot of siege, a lot of melee attack. And now Cyan has captured all sacred sites, but his military here has been overran. He still has Mangonel still alive. You also now have Talar Elephant as well, which can fire the move like Magadai. It just doesn't have the mobility as Magadai. These elephants should be very effective at dealing with these castles. They do have 7 Pierce armor. Keeps, however, do have 14 attack range, so it's still quite a bit of damage. And the Spring Gold emplacement, the it says Arbalest. Is the Arbalest actually called? It says Arbalest as the range, but it's actually a Spring Gold emplacement. Oh no, wait, that's a whole separate weapon, isn't it? Oh, for the ship. The Arbalest is an anti-ship. No. Okay, that makes no sense to me. There's no Spring Gold emplacement there. Is there something unique about this French castle I'm not aware of? Red castle. Good amount of damage there. Red palace, not castle. Look over here. Just interesting. So there may be something special about French castles I'm not aware of. But either way, we do now have a trebuchet, counterweight trebuchet, putting some hits there onto the Cyan castles. And that horseman does go down. Castle now under siege. Cyan trying to go for a Sacred Site victory. Cyan's also in Imperial Age. He's gotten, of course, the Red Palace, as we saw earlier. Cyan's also deploying a massive number of stone walls here to help hold the region. He only gets to hold this region with numbers at the moment. He's also going for a good number of upgrades. More Talar elephants, more Battle War elephants, more trebuchets. Now Cyan's being supported by a large wave of elite horsemen along with her elite royal knights. Orange does have a good number of crossbows in this region, trying to defend the region, but I think he will get overwhelmed. Not have enough defense force here, not enough anti-cavalry force. Trebuchets are still doing good. War elephants almost down. Tower elephant received a bit of fire as well. Tower elephant may want to run away. More war elephants being pulled out. And looks like Cyan's force is being whittled down here by these various forces. All the trebuchets have gone down. Cyan's horsemen and knight are advancing forward, trying to get some damage here. And there's also some exposed villagers here. Orange has 113 villagers, opponent has 130. And these villagers are saluting and whittled down there. Spearmen trying to deal with these horsemen and knights, and them just going deep in the base means they're not attacking the sacred site. Keep has been repaired on up. There's not a lot of defense force here for this traction or for this trebuchet, counterweight trebuchet. Horseman now advancing forward. There's a couple of knights in the mix as well. Elephant trying to gauge on in. The elephant is being healed up by the warrior, or not warrior, scholar. Spearman coming in support as well. We've got more elephants being pulled on out. They're all so wounded. This keep, however, seeing a bit of fire there. Needs to get these villagers inside the keep. And Orange has backed out of the game now. This is Andgrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Oops, I just realized something as well. I didn't have a Rumble up the entire time, but it doesn't look like there's any chats. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any chats. Come on, game. You can load. There's also another game that I spotted earlier, Roost Mirror, that seemed like a decent replay, so let's go and cast that one. Yep, here it is. Yes, correctly. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on bottom left side as the green Rus, we have Liquid Dimmu. Spawn top right side as the magenta Rus, we have a 4 name. It is of course a Rus mirror, so it's going to come down to early scout aggression. Lava Mill House. Looks like Green does find himself an early exotic doggy to not tame. Of course, I really wish this. I keep on saying that. The only Age of Empires game where you can actually tame wild animals is, of course, Age of Empires 3, playing as some of the tribes where you can convert some of the guardians as your own little small army you can accumulate in the early game. Oh, howdy, I just saw your YouTube comment. Well, if you're ever interested in more Age of Empires 4 replays, I do have a bit of a playlist you can look on my channel. We got this exotic doggy being killed on off down south. Purple still going around trying to find some deer. This deer has been cleaned up. This deer is dead. These deers are lying dead in the snow. Finding some more deer or wolves around the map. And since now I'm pretty sure that's the Kremlin, right? Oh no, Golden Gate. Got a bit of a rebel there. We got the Kremlin deployed on out for pink, but the Golden Gate allowed the exchange of resources at a more favorable rate, generates additional exchanges every minute. So the Green is maybe eyeing something a little bit special with that. Usually people don't go for the trade because it's just inefficient. So I wonder what the real advantage of the Golden Gate. Because generally it's just not a good idea to trade resources. But it looks like both sides just eyeing the equal on up. Let's go and switch over to Autocaster mode so we can take a look at the bounties accumulated. 350, so he has tier 2, pretty far from tier 3. And for the other player here, we do got a lot of scouts, engaging scouts. And purple's going for our 4 townsend here, and pink or purple, magenta, does not get tier 2, just ever so short. So magenta may want eye for an early boar, or at least go for the high commerce. What's it called? High trade, high commerce, the tier 3 landmark that spawns deer. I always forget the exact name for that one, which also doesn't seem like anything involving trade or commerce. But these scouts are scouting around, a bit of a forced recon. Any matter, not free camera, caster mode, that's the button I'm looking for. And now I've got these scouts scouting around. We'll be able to find these militias still chasing them. They will be able to find these lumber workers collecting lumber. What a big shock. Of course, where is the big thing? Looks like he's going for some stables there. I wonder if he actually spotted that. Let's go. Seeing those stables would alert him this one's going to deploy out some early knights. I doubt it's going to be horsemen. It's going to be early knights. He's collecting a whole bunch of gold there. That's going to be early knights. Survival techniques have been researched by... Not sure by who. That's probably purple. And it looks like they are going to try to wall in these relics as well. At least purple is. But the scouts are trying to slice up this villager. Scouts have wooden attacks, so it's not going to be very effective. They do bonus damage versus other scouts. I generally don't know who actually wins a fight between 1 villager and 3 scouts. And honestly, would not surprise me if it's the villagers. Scouts do have a good amount of health though, but villagers do have 6 attack as opposed to 1. Yeah, 3 villagers, scouts should be able to deal with a villager, but 2, maybe not. Early Knight does get a good lance charge there, gets some good damage on these scouts, and they start running away. More, okay, that's a scout, not Early Knight. Oh, and there we go. We do have a boar kill there, and that should get him the tier 2 bounty as well. Going for a wooden fortress, and then probably, and there's the, what's it called, the hunting cabin there. And I've got these Early Knights making their way down south. There is some exposed villagers there. Nice thing about the wooden fortresses, having 8 slots there is just right to as your roaming patrol of villagers who can all collect the same carcass at the same time. And he does actually lose 2 of the villagers there. So good lance charge there, taking out some villagers. You got a large number of horse archers deployed up by green. Interesting. They can't move and fire at the same time like Magadai. But in comparison to Magadai, they do have higher damage, 1 extra tower of range. I think Magadai are like 8 damage, 3.5 tower range. But the horse archers can have to stand, so stop and shoot, which can be a very useful unit still to raid and hit villagers. So I still prefer Magadai. Horse archers advancing on forward. 8 horse archers here. Early knights do have only 4 pierce armor, so the 12 attack of these horse archers will be very effective. And it's good for me to look up moves. We get 1.62 tiles per second versus 1.62 tiles per second, so they do have the same movement speed. So they can technically outrun each other. And the horse archers have to take time to stand and fire, and of course then the knights can run away in that meantime. So the early knights are still effective versus raiding villagers. Doing a bit of micro there, very good. Receiving a bit of fire. The warrior monk has been spotted there, very nice. Tranquil conversion there. I can never really tell when I can get... He could eventually finish off the warrior monk there, but the horse archers would have finished off this force either way, so probably a good idea that he ran, but does run into a wall. And now he's stuck between a wall, a rock, and a hard place. That was a horrible joke. Do have a handful of knights here. Got a big wave of horse archers. I love to see this unique playstyle. You don't see mass horse archer. You now got +1 pierce attack being researched by green, which makes sense. His opponent has gone for +1 pierce armor, which makes sense. Now do have tier 3, age 3 research by both players. Got the that's a Kremlin and high trade house here. Man, the high trade house does act as a giant hunting cabin, so you may not want to chop down the woods, trees nearby, or place in somewhere in an area where you can get a lot of extra gold generation. And for here, we do have the high trade house as well. It has 171 gold per minute, but these trees are going on down. Agenda is now going for a monastery there. Got these knights falling back away from these horse archers. That's 19 horse archers there. Jeez. What are your horse archers prices? They don't cost gold. Magnite do cost gold. I think like they are 120 food, 40 gold. While the horse archer is 80 food, 40 wood. And Mega Knights do take 30 seconds to build per 30-second build time, while the horse archer 22-second build time. Let's just say I main Mongols, so I can't get a comparison between the two off the top of my head. I may main Mongols though, I may not be very good at them. That's another thing. This fortified wall is going down. Scouts do, of course, have decent torch damage. It's very similar to the bow attack. Yep, 16 versus 13. And good hits there on the early knights. These early knights are having trouble versus, or they're probably full knights now, are having trouble versus these horse archers. He does have a relic here. He could bring it to the front line and try to get some conversions, but he does not. And now these village streets do good fire there. Townsfolk do have good range. Horse archers have no pierce armor, so these town soldiers can do severe damage to them. We do now have this fortified palace wall trying to be destroyed to get the access to that not so soft inside of a relic. But it's probably filled with Pope Blood. Five joke on 4 is probably filled with blood. Pope Blood. By the way, you got all these archers here. Archers will be a decent counter to the horse archer, not because it does any bonus damage, but because the horse archers have no pierce armor to defend themselves with. Or not at the moment. You do also have some crossbow on the field. That's another good item versus these early knights. I think just going straight for an archery build just to engage his opponent, get out crossbow and deal with early knights, and just go for horse archers as your mounted unit. Who cares? Who wants to get both out stables and archer rangers? Just go for one unit, I guess. Who cares as well? And archers do have 8 attack, plus some versus light melee. Horse archers, of course, do, barring the upgrades, they do half the base damage, a little bit more than half the base damage. What's the cost of an archer compared to 30, 50? So horse archers are cheaper in wood. Of course, they're significantly more expensive in food. Let's see, 50 less, 50 or 10 less, 50 more. So the difference is 40. So the cost is 40 more. For something that has significantly higher stats and mobility, I heard horse archers just straight up better. 115 health. Of course, gets plus 30 health, so and they have about the same base health. They don't gain any special damage versus spearmen, but they have the mobility to engage spearmen. Are horse archers straight up better than archers? Am I stupid to assume that? They also are mounted force, so you can mix in some horsemen and knights and mix to support your archers, same way you support your spearmen with archers. These horse archers now falling back, doesn't want to stand and fight. They do, of course, lack the armor, any sort of armor, and now they're going to be engaging these archers in range combat. Archers don't have any base armor as well, so may not be exactly cost-effective.Maybe that's the biggest drawback. They're not exactly cost-effective, but overall, as a unit, they're not bad whatsoever. If your opponent just wants to go for knights, they do decently well in comparison to archers. So maybe against knight play, would it be royal knights or early knights? Horse archers may be better than going for archer and spearmen. Up here, that monk does go down, unable to secure that relic. The central sacred site was tapped for a moment. These green archers now engaging, receiving a bit too much fire versus these knights. These knights are patrolling around to got these crossbowmen in pursuit. Those archers are, horse archers are getting some good damage. We do have these hunter cannons being pulled now, trying to sway them. And the archer, and does, when he knows his opponent was not charging him, he immediately put them back to work, even though neither side could have played that a little bit differently. Knights receiving a bit more fire there. Throw some rounds on the scout. Got these crossbowmen being pulled out, getting some great kills on those knights. Crossbowmen is a good transition, because of course are effective versus these knights. The horse archers he has left over are still effective versus these archers. Do have a couple of his own horsemen deployed on the field, which will be effective versus his opponent's archer, so he's starting to counter his opponent. And more counter units. These knights are still being a bit of a problem as well. It's hard to pin down these knights. It's not just a horse archer thing. But now these villagers are getting hit as well. And these knights are falling on back. We do have this hunting cabin here. And these royal knights are not royal knights. Knights are being pursued. We got a big wave of archers. Now a couple crossbow mix on in. We do find these villagers here. These villagers trying to grab some foray. He does manage to get inside the town center in time. I got some of these defensive spearmen and knights as well. So Green's starting to pull out his own cavalry force, going for the knight upgrade to upgrade his early knights. Warrior Monk seeing a bit of fire there, and now the Warrior Monk will go on down. We have a very good force here of archers, crossbowmen, horsemen, and knights here. Pulled out by Magenta. Do have a wooden force here, not upgrade if anything. Green's now advancing forward with a massive force as well. They've got a massive gate here. Has a good number of horse archers. Horsemen running forward. Does have some knights mixed on the end. Large number of archers as well as archers. This force is going to be a very long, prolonged fight. I don't think either side has any real advantage. Looks like all of his force archers may have went down. I actually didn't see any force archers in that gate. I thought he had some. Great volley there by the Mangonel. The horseman can start focusing that one down. Mangonel's going to be backing on off. Redeploying on out. Fires one volley before going down. It's a small hit there on these archers and crossbowmen. And Pink's force being overwhelmed. He does have a good number of archers and crossbows in the region. More reinforced archers. Horsemen advancing forward. These crossbows being pulled out by Purple has not been good because he's not fighting against any heavy armor at the moment. Got a big wave of archers advancing forward. Do have some horse archers in the mix as well. Nothing inside this town center. He could throw a militia on base forward. Let's get a good stab there. Trying to deal with these forces. Militia do bonus damage with just mounted units. Green has too many crossbowmen now. There's going to be a bit of a problem, but these horsemen are still going to get some great work done. Magenta's now trying to go for a defensive keep, trying to help block down this region, pulling some more villagers in the region. Does not decides to ban the keep production. More horsemen being pulled out. Magenta has a decent force of archers here, which will be effective versus all of this. Magenta's now trying to give the keep up now. And these crossmen will be overrun. They can start to step away. They do have good burst damage. It did not fire off the burst there on that militia. They saw the militia there. Now the horsemen are closing out and get some great damage onto these crossbowmen. Horsemen do get folks down, but these archers, crossbowmen need to start running away. Avoid these archers for the time being, and the ball could get picked off either way. Got a large number of crossbowmen, horsemen here. No more mounted horsemen. Does have a warrior monk somewhere. Magenta's now going for some Mangonel, and now we do have a high armory being put up by Green. Decrease the cost of siege engines in nearby siege engine workshops by 20%. Contains unique siege engine technologies. Got a sizable force of Magenta from here. There's a springboard emplacement in this wooden fortress as well. As well as an arrow upgrade. Green now has advanced to the Imperial Age. Don't see Imperial Age technologies just yet. Too many crossbowmen pulled out by Green. Magenta has abandoned heavy deployment or night deployment and has no man-at-arms either. So these crossbowmen from both sides are not going to be very useful because there's no heavy armor for each side. Monk advancing forward. We'll get off a stab there. Get the Saints Blessing now. But of course, I don't think the Saints Blessing is going to... it does stick around, even the Saints Death route, not for dead. It's not an aura on the monk. It's simply a aura... how to put it? Not a constant aura, but more like a aura instantaneous buff. An AoE buff, that's the term I'm looking for. Horsemen are getting horsemen. Got a good number of archers here as well. Magno firing some rounds as well. Green's pulling out some of these horsemen as well. It's veteran horsemen versus veteran horsemen. You now see the Elite Horseman upgrade, as well as Elite Crossbowman upgrade, as well as range attack as well. Right now, Breen needs to focus on archer stuff, because right now, those crossbowmen are not needed. Large number of horsemen now advancing forward. Magenta has built out a good solid line of walls there. Green has to build some walls, but not a lot over here. And now do got a large, absurd number of siege workshops. You cannot afford that many siege workshops in production. You only need like 2 or 3. Anything more than that, you're not going to have the income to really utilize those siege workshops. Do now have a mining camp being built by Magenta there. I think that's enough villagers to stab that monk. Horseman gains some great damage there. Magenta's horseman is trying to raid. He will run into a pretty sizable range force here. A lot of these horsemen are quite wounded. I think there's going to be a lot of overkill. Now we got some Streltsy here. Streltsy are another good unit. Similar to crossbowmen, they do apply their damage easily across everything, and the longer they stand still, the faster they can fire. Or more, I should say, if they're standing still for 10 seconds, then they get a plus 10 second fire speed, which is a little bit different than, say, slowly increasing that benefit. We have a handful of elite horsemen being pulled out. And now he's hitting the farms, not the villagers. Now he's hitting the villagers, but these green horsemen will overrun them, no problem. We're going to see a big mass reduction battle coming out soon. Magenta does have an inferior force to green. It does have a good number of military units. And we got this Spoxia tower being pulled out. I actually don't know what that landmark does. Because that... most people just go for the Siege Workshop one. Defensive landmark. Acts of Keep with all weapon placements and increased health. So no, don't need to research any weapon placements. Unlocks the building of stone walls, gates, and stone towers. We're now got the Streltsy advancing on forward. You have some defensive mangonels here, but they're getting overrun. So is Springald. Springald's not needed at this moment in time, but it's always a good idea to get some in reserve. And some of these mangonels will be focused down quite severely. Magenta's force is just simply inferior. He simply does not have the numbers compared to his opponent. We have 40 to 65, and a lot of these horsemen are getting quite wounded. Or, yeah, they are horsemen, not knights. Spearmen would do just fine. Archers would do just fine, but everything else, not so much. This emplacement here this wonder or landmark could have been built a bit farther forward. Green's now trying to go for some more villager stuff. Magenta has 115 villagers, opponent has 126. And these horsemen will be cleaned up, but he's drawing a large number of force over here. Green now stands forward with some battering rams. And is getting chemistry and the faster siege workshop units. These horsemen do find some kills there on some villagers, very nice. And these hunting cabins are getting some gold generation as well. If you take a look at the gold income for each player, got 113 or 1300 versus 1300, so both of them have similar gold generation. Got a good number of infantry here, including some Streltsy. More horsemen will be going out. Green's now making their way forward. That is not a landmark town center, that's just a regular town center. It's sort of hard to gauge who's going to win this fight, but Green has a massive number of battering rams here. He's pumping out these battering rams. I guess he is going for, he's using those siege workshops to build out mass battering rams. They only cost wood, and they're relatively cheap and effective for what they do. They just don't have, they simply can get overwhelmed by infantry. And Magenta does back out of the game now. This is Adam Green saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's take a look at another replay as I keep on alt-tabbing, failing to alt-tab. Oh boy. What sort of name is this? And they are hidden. Let's see about this one here. That's hidden as well. Let's see now. Do you got some custom and some ranked? 24 minutes. Relatively recently as well. 11 minutes. 15 minutes. 34 minutes. Let's go ahead and do this one here. I guess I did find a replay from him. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on top left side as the Cyan Chinese, we have Louis MT, or Lou MT. Spawn on top bottom right side as the Red English is my lord gonna suck on that thing. Comes up with these names. Of course we do have, this map does have contain a bit of fish. Both these, or each of 4 of these corners do contain 4 or 5 increments of fish, so both sides could potentially claim a lot of fish. And your opponent can apply aggression to help stop the fish being collected. You don't have to go for a whole lot of fishing chips as well. If you go for too many, then it's quite a bit of wood investment. Both sides are of course going to collect some extra wood. It's going to be a late feudal age for both sides, likely. Cyan's doing a great job of collecting sheep. Red, not so much. And now do have this mill being pulled out as well. Let's see now. We do have, looks like 6 ships, 7, 8 fishing ships. Over here we do have 6 and 7, 8 on the build queue as well. And now, okay, let's take a quick look at each player's wonders, or landmarks. So we got the council hall there. He does spot the aggressive fishing dock there. Going for still more fishing ships. He is not being successful. The English villagers do have arrows, and now there is a dock here to pull out a ship or two to deal with these fishing ships. He's going for a junk, a simple combat ship. There could be a potential naval arrow slits here to help stop that. You now got scouts engaging each other. It's very, very close to each other. And for over here, you got the Imperial Academy. That's basically the default. Though Bardock and the Sun's not coming for rushes as well. Of course, now got the junk out in the field. He does get fish ships inside of this dock here. And now you got a fire ship there. We go for these fishing ships there. And now it's going, oh, he cannot build a hulk because he needs more housing. We now have a hulk here. Hulks do have extra health compared to fishing ships. He does get a great definition there. Oh wait, that's a spring gold ship either way, not the arrow ship. And thanks to health regen, these guys are getting so much needed healing. He's actually healing up the Hulk there with his fishing ships. Let's lose a couple fishing ships there. Spring Gulls advancing up forward. Going for another fire ship there. That's not enough to take out the Hulk there. It needs to hit these fishing ships, honestly. Does get a fishing ship. And Spring Gull ship will be healed on up. There's going some Longbowmen here as well. Longbowmen don't exactly do great damage, but they can do some damage. Now this side I really want to invest in stone. I do know that a couple times I was playing as the Mongols and I was getting the dock rushes. Believe it or not, Mongols actually can handle dock rushes a little bit better because since they get stone passively, they can actually deploy out early naval arrow slits to help protect their fishing ships. So somehow the Mongols, the aggressive factions, have actually good naval defense. That's detonate there, but our ships do not sustain extra damage from the fire ships. And so that fire ship didn't do much. These need to stop building fire ships. He needs to queue them up, and perhaps one of these fire ships not going to be helpful. In fact, he should really stop this naval aggression. I don't think he's being successful enough. Sign has to fly out another dock over here, claiming some more fishies. Going for a lot of fishing ships. And we've got, of course, plenty of longbone here. His longbone has been distracted by these, this dock here, and it looks like the fire ship actually did some AoE damage versus those longbone. Maybe it was an arrow ship. Set ablaze. These longbowmen can be pulled on off and help with his advance. We do now have a outpost being put out here, trying to get the castle network to support his longbowmen. We knock the Bardic into the sun. That's a good defensive emplacement right there. And the dock is set ablaze, or is burning down, I should say. I already said it's set ablaze. We have now a scout and a horseman advancing forward, trying to disrupt this placement. He does get at least one spearman here, which does get some great hits and does take up the scout as well. I heard, oh, there's just some fire there. Outpost slowly being built up. And he's going to need to pull off this line to try to avoid any additional fire. The Bardic on the Sun is in the region, but is out of range of the outpost. And he does put out another lumber mill there. Of course, he could always pull out another lumber mill over here, which he has, and it's going to be backing on off now, just trying to avoid this area. This lumber here will, of course, provide a bit of a natural barrier, but of course, he wants to collect that lumber. Ray's now going for a forward dock over here as well. There's also an unbuilt outpost, and these horsemen are going to try to respond to this region. He needs to quickly focus on that villager. He should have vision of this area. He's going for an arrow ship immediately. If he gets out his navy out first, it's very important. Horseman now throwing some torches on the outpost. He could perhaps hit these exposed archers. And does take out that villager there with a quick arrow ship. Very, very nice. Good use of patrol move, just trying to patrol the region. Blue is now, or Red is now eyeing for some fishing ships here. He actually went for an early, galley. Archer ship, yeah. I don't know why I got that mixed. I got confused by that. We do now have a battering ram being pulled out right here, trying to disrupt the docks, I'm assuming. Who does have does have a good force of archers and horsemen. He can go past pull out some Zinch News to support out as well. They do have good damage versus low armored units. Building out outposts here as well. Very, very nice. Do not how these villagers are trying to run away from these horsemen. He does interrupt the deployment of that castle network, which is important. This castle network over here does provide, the radius is very, very great. Archer trying to fire away, taking out the science archers first. Did not have palings up. These horsemen will slowly whittle down these longbowmen. Looks like the horsemen will win out, or at least get enough damage to force Red back. We got more spearmen and archers here. This battering ram has been paused. And this dockyard does go down, but Science still has enough dock here to collect all the fishies. Which is very important, because as long as there's one dock, he has all the food in that pond. Archer does, or Villager does go down to the archers, and does cancel that outpost as well. I probably would have kept that up. Outposts are relatively cheap, and could perhaps eventually built it out. More battering rams been pulled out by Red. That's going to be a lot of battering rams. Got this one moving forward by him, Slowsome. There's one dockyard there, and that's it. We got 3 battering rams now advancing on forward. Of course, the hand cannon of the Bardic and the Sun can not do extra damage versus the battering rams. They have to pierce armor. Horseman advancing forward. Horseman, the only thing he have in the region to stop those battering rams, and the longbowman can stay back away to get some good damage there. Does have a handful of defensive spearmen as well, and these horsemen will be needed in multiple regions as well. And Sign needs hand control there. Does load the Bardic and Sun to get some extra defensive. Oh wait, Bardic. Oh wait, no, it just gets out of it before I can build the arrow count, arrow damage. Yep, does get 7 attack per arrow there. And now these battering rams are do set ablaze the Bardic and the Sun. You have a large number of longbowmen here. The castle network is very, very important. Now the Bardic and the Sun is being repaired on up. A lot of fishing ships out at sea. And now we do have the more battering rams being pulling out. The villagers can quickly clean them up north. We've got this battering ram still in the region. These villagers are throwing enough torches to light ablaze this battering ram. When I say light ablaze, I mean just destroy it. Actuality, this other dock has gone down, so this is a relatively fresh dock, if I remember correctly. Longbowman advancing forward, got more battering rams pushing way forward as well. Red's doing a good job containing his opponent. Doesn't have to worry about defense for the time being, and now got King's Palace being built by Red, which is a town center with no real benefits whatsoever. It simply just doesn't cost stone, and it's easy to build more villagers. And now Red has gone to the castle, which now Science now going for the astronomical clock tower. That should be very handy indeed. The astronomical clock tower can provide some more durable siege units, in which a couple clock tower nest of bees would be very effective versus his force. These villagers are a little bit exposed there. There's not a lot of wood on this map. There's actually a couple big sources, and that's it. In actuality, Red actually got a bit of a bad deal in the wood placements for both players. The big ones are more close to Cyan, incontestable by Cyan. So Red does have an inferior number, could potentially have trouble with his wood collection later on. Doesn't mean he will. There's plenty of wood on the map. Very few times do you actually run out of wood on the entire map. I've only ever played one game where the wood was getting very, very sparse. Astronomical clock tower has been built, going for a hive of bees, or nest of bees. I always like for a hive, honestly. Early man-at-arms have been built off right there. That make it idea this one's going to go for man-at-arms. War junks have received a bit of fire there. We'll spot this naval yard here. And you will need to pull out another dock over here. Red's dock is still not cancelled. Signs advancing forward, trying to deal with these red forces. And that villager does go down there now. Forcing to advance forward, they got a good number of archers, veteran archers here. There's some veteran spearmen here that can keep back these horsemen. And once the spearman goes down, then the horsemen can start engaging these various longbowmen. You got, of course, the nest of bees advancing forward, able to get some great AoE damage onto these various infantry forces. And now you also have a handful of lancers as well that can support these longbows as well. They currently have 10 attack, which actually is quite significant, but lancers do have 6 pierce armor, so they can withstand a bit more than his opponent. You now got these man-at-arms advancing on forward, getting some great damage. There's also a couple crossbows in the mix as well. And got some more villagers here, setting a blaze to some of these outposts here. I've got these man-at-arms trying to stop them. These forces are still getting some great damage there onto these villagers, getting a large number of them down. Besides now just counter-attacking, going straight to his opponent. Clock Tower and SFB sort of lagging a bit behind. And these forces are now getting away with man-at-arms. Cyan does have 75 villagers, one has 93. And these archers are getting some great damage there. They're going to be backing off, trying to avoid an additional fire. The Clock Tower and SFBs needs to perhaps save those. He's going to be focusing those down. The clock to this one to go and start hitting his man-at-arms. These SFBs are going to need to hit these man-at-arms, because this is the counter to the man-at-arms. Man-at-arms still trying to close in on these archers. Clock Tower and SFBs, of course, have a bit of extra health to work with. These men-at-arms do have a bunch of pierce armor. They have 8 pierce armor, so these archers will do a lot less work against them. So these SFBs need to start hitting these man-at-arms significantly. We've got the lancers not hitting them. It's some great damage there. And it's starting to repair up these nest of bees now. That maid was just used to panic his opponent as a distraction. And you have this guy here, and does get overwhelmed there quite easily by the Lancer charge. We now have some crossbowmen pulled out by Cyan to support out his archers. Crossbowmen, or these man-at-arms not back forth. There's a lot of exposed villagers here. This monk can go for conversion himself. That's maybe actually a good time to try to go for conversion. Palisade wall will go on down. He's forcing Clock Tower next to bees as well. And also these crossbowmen getting some good damage there onto these man-at-arms, slowly whittling them down with the Lancer support. There's a lot of exposed infrastructure here as well. A lot of barracks. Finish off some of these man-at-arms as well as some of these spearmen. Gotta keep now being pulled on out by Cyan, a forward keep. Keep starting being pulled on out. Cyan's still has some fishes here to collect, some various fishes. Well, they're all stuck with left of 350 each. That's sort of weird to me. And that one's go for 350. Side has allowed to blow out Fort Castle. This Fort Castle is going to be very, very problematic because it's also denying all this infrastructure that Red has built. Red will need to pull out some trebuchets to deal with it. He's not going for the network castle defense. Oh, that was Imperial Age technology. I guess it's Castle Age technology. Supposed to advance forward. Springbolt quickly overwhelmed. The Springbolt's going to be important to deal with those Clockwork Tower Nest Bees, but you will need 3 of them to volley down the Clockwork Tower Nest Bees. Now he has 1 less there. Crossbowman advancing forward. Sort of getting caught up on other structures. Still got a good number of longbowmen here. Crossbowman advancing forward as well. And Clockwork Tower Nest of Bees has to take out that Springbolt as well. That's usually the job of Springbolt, not the Nest of Bees. Great damage on those Spearmen, overwhelming. Allows to get these archers more severely hit. A lot of those archers or Spearmen have gone down now. Looks like some of these Springbolt or Clockwork Tower Nest of Bees are going down to the Springbolt. Some Lancers now in the mix as well, but the crossbow in the region can quickly take them out. Good volley there, getting some good AoE damage. Now got the Mangonel advance forward, and we got a Springbolt taking out another Clockwork Tower Nest of Bees. They have 210 health. Springbolts do 100 damage versus siege, minus the 20 base armor, so do 8 damage each. So 3 of them will one-shot a Clockwork Tower Nest of Bees. So we got a red keep here, but interrupted. Up north, we got Cyan now claiming this northern secret site there, getting a bit of extra gold generation. Red is claiming this one over here. Springbolts will not go down there, will be repaired up in time. Siege Workshop now put on the front line for Cyan. Maybe eyeing for some early, getting some trebuchets or some battering rams. We got now these counterweight trebuchets advancing forward, trying to get some good hits there onto the keep. Springbolts advancing forward as well. Deciding now to pull out some, or Red's trying to pull out some ships here. Some incendiary ship and a Hulk here. Outposts will be going on down. Fishing ships moving in formation. Deciding to try to pull out some more walls here, but Red has already built those walls there. Some of these fishing military ships have received lots of fire, and there's no forward repairs in that region. Fire ship advancing forward. Maybe we'll get a great detonation there. Great detonation there, taking out 2 of the military ships, severely wounding many of those naval ships. And now Sinus will have his own incendiary ship there. Gets a great hit there, taking out 1 of the military ships, but he does lose this guy here, unable to finish off this boat. Red has maintained a lot of this infrastructure still alive, so it's only destroyed 2 of the infrastructure, so having reclaimed all this infrastructure means Red has good production once again. A lot of infantry production at least. Warjunk especially forward. Got the Hulk as well. Another incendiary ship, explosive ship. More incendiary ships being deployed out by both sides. A lot of these ships are fishing ships are starting to go on down. These workshops coming down as well. Cyan's not going for a. Is this a forward keep or defensive keep? Right there. Maybe a little bit overkill. The fish in this region is almost completely gone, so you can actually afford to lose the ships. There's less than 1,000 food left in the water. Capturing the sacred site down south. Of course, Gothas keep would deny his button from pulling out any transports to send over a scholar over here to capture the sacred site. Keep has been pulled now. Great kills there by the hand cannoneer. And the cinder ships do get a good hit there onto the keep, but not really enough. It'll take a bit more than that to take out that. He's pulling out more and more incendiary ships. He's not gotten enough great. It's just the incendiaries only increase explosive range, but not damage. Now the Imperial Age Berkshire Castle defensive landmark being pulled out right there. This one has already got an Imperial Age. I'm not sure which landmark they went for. No, not the Imperial Academy. Ah, the Golden Gate. Or not Golden Gate, the Great Wall Gatehouse. Comes with defensive beats and placements applied, and plus 25% range damage to all units on the wall. On walls in general. Must be built over stone walls. I find this landmark really stupid in my opinion. Sure, it's a great placement, but not that great. There's also like unbuilt walls in the middle of it, isn't it? Yep. I find that landmark just sort of stupid. It's a defensive landmark, but also a wall segment, which has good defensive emplacements, but just the Berkshire Castle is pretty nice. It has absurd range. It has a range of 15, while the Nest of Bees emplacements does have only 10. Has 10 range. It does good damage, but the range is simply much better, useful. Also has absurd attack speed times 3. Now let's be fair as well, not many people actually fight from walls. It's a rare thing people ever do. Well, so I decided to just get a lot of technology up, or a lot of research up, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit since it sort of stalled out the game. I do got some trebuchets looking to be pulled out by red. I am to engage this team at long range. Dock here still in receiving a bit of fire. That's a lot of Spring Gold in place, Spring Golds, as well as a couple of Clock Tower Nest of Bees. And these Spring Golds are not deployed out by the Clock Tower. Dock's now receiving a bit of fire there. Or now it's on fire, I should say. Those are just Spring Golds to take out those Nest of Bees. Right now, it's just a bit of stalemate. Sidon doesn't seem like in a great position though compared to his opponent. His opponent's been making a lot of power plays. Sidon just simply has not been able to go on attack. He does have less villagers than his opponent as well. Oh, but now got some elite fire lancers. Unlike horsemen and knights, these simply just don't need any sort of upgrades to come out as elite. So they will get some great damage there. Did they have some increased torch damage? 40 torch damage. He's trying to repair up that outpost there. Saving that's actually very important. These fire lancers trying to break through this palisade wall there, but that will not net him any villager kills there. Just getting the alpha strikes there. Of course, got a handful of hand cannoneers, crossbowmen, and various other forces advancing forward. He's cutting down one of the priests there. Spring Golds advancing forward. We got a handful of crossbowmen as well. Our fire lancers, as curious, fire lancers are, they are light melee, not not heavy, so crossbows do not do any additional damage versus the Fire Lancers. Springald's getting some great hits there onto these ships. They're also an anti-ship weapon. And now we've got a Broadcushion, that's the cannon galleon. Got quite a bit of forces here. We've got these elite horsemen advancing forward. They're slowly being taken apart. These crossbowmen, not exactly what you need against horsemen. Of course, he still doesn't have any man-at-arms. A couple man-at-arms here and there, but nothing too significant. We do not have a bombard, clock tower bombard upon the field. It would take like 4 or 5 Springald hits to take that out. Springalds do what, 100 damage, minus 30 arms, so 70. So 70 divided by 360. That's maybe close to 6 hits. I can't do math out the head flying like that. 5 times 70 is 350, so it would take 6 hits. Springald does get overwhelmed by the Fire Lances, not trying to hit these various forces. Trying to go for these trebuchets, good damage from one trebuchet, another trebuchet is being focused down. More crossbow and hand cannoneers advancing out forward as well. Villagers going on down, got another wave of walls being interrupted. These villagers getting hit by these horsemen. Side can't be losing these villagers like this. Red's now advancing forward to Keeps, taking out Pagoda, which does have one relic inside. There's another relic inside this one. They can only store one relic, and they do offer a good amount of resources for everything. And Sign does go ahead and back out of the game now. This ends great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now, who should I cast next? Come on, game, you can load. There you go. Somehow, you can find that person, right? Did I drop connection? No, it looks like I'm still streaming. There we go. Took forever to find him. No, don't know why. And his match history is hidden. I think this one's the correct one. 17 minutes. Ooh, 58 minutes. And why is a name like that? Huh, oh well. That must have been his actual way to put on the name. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom right side as the Green English with OPA. Spawn on the bottom top left side as the Pink Chinese, we have Dash. Collecting some very, very juicy sheep carcasses there. He, of course, point out for an early meal there, so his Imperial official can collect some extra gold. And he's actually focusing quite a bit heavy on gold. Usually people just go for the Imperial official there to grab his gold enough, his 200 gold for the age up, but not this case. Oh! Here's something unique as well. We see the Abbey of Kings. You know, I have seen the Abbey King so little, I don't really know much about it. It does have a healing race. I think it also can deploy out a hero, a king. And Pink does killing off the deer. Neither of them are Roos. Why are they killing off the deer? Am I stupid for thinking like they're just both killing off deer? They missed the boar as well to aggro and hit each other. Well, either way, King's trying to hit Green Scout. The Abbey King's being pulled on out. Let's see what the unique about the Abbey Kings. And now we've got the King. A Mighty King, a powerful cavalry unit. Heals nearby units 2 health every 1 second. So it is a early healer. Let's take a look how powerful he's as well. He may be eyeing to use the King himself to harass his opponent. The King. It has right now 16 attack by a great sword. It has a lance attack as well, so it is an actual knight unit early on. So the King himself is going to be advancing forward. He does try to spout out these 4-8, does not spot any villagers there. Does have the scout to assist him. Pointing him, the scout is like a hunter's guide. The scout is showing him where to hunt, and the King is going to kill it. Just like it's in the Congo or Africa, right? But they're fighting there. He's hunting the most dangerous game. The King does see if it hits there. I wonder if the King himself has a health regen on him for himself. It has a healing aura. It does have the King icon on top, like the campaign. 101. So yeah, I think he has his own passive health regen as well. Maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, I don't see any healing himself. He doesn't heal himself, which is a little bit of a shame. But it does have the King advance forward. The King does heal the nearby horseman. I wonder if maybe it has to be out of combat, because the horseman's not being healed at the moment. I saw him getting healed earlier, so maybe an out of combat heal that also affects himself. See the heal effect right there. Now there's healing effect there, and does not heal himself. What do you all think? If the King were to heal himself in out of combat with his own aura effect, would you think that would be overpowered or not? I mean, it's basically the Royal Knights without the upgrade, but just all by his lonesome. And he is quite expensive. Oh, there we go. He does have to he has to fall back to the Abbey Kings to get healed up. Interesting. What do y'all think about that? I think he should be affected by his own healing aura. The healing aura of the Abbey Kings can be useful for villagers. Maybe he can do something a little bit different. Maybe this should be upgrades for the King himself to get some more benefits later on. Maybe the King should be like a Khan, gets access to more abilities later on as well. Such as a mobility aura, or mobility, basically like single arrows. Get nearby units to move faster, more armor. The heal ability from the campaign will be a bit overkill, and the faster deployment time will be also overpowered as well. But maybe that could come out in later ages, like Age 4 gets the have all nearby structures build faster aura. That horseman will go on down, and the King and the horseman will be falling on back. The King himself took a bit of fire there. As we mentioned earlier, he cannot heal himself. You know how these longbowmen advancing forward as well. He's trying to interrupt this town setup, but the town setup will be built. It would be something fun as well. This could be by the King, or maybe as well as like the Khans, where you can simply just name the character. Or sort of like in Age of Empires 3, like your explorer gets a name. Just a little bit of extra flavor to it, like King something something, or Khan of something. Just something a little bit more customizable and fun. Now the King's palace being pulled out. Some of these Chinese villagers are not collecting. There's not enough surface area on these sheep. In fact, there's actually a lack of sheep now, which is a bit of a problem for Pink. Pink does have a superior villager production, but now there's going to be exposed mill to the longbowmen horsemen. It's a quick kill there. The Imperial official does not get killed off. And now Pink is outplaying out a big wave of horsemen. Longbowmen falling on back. We got this horseman here falling back as well. And the Longbown's gonna be sent there to die.
It is Sitha for actors. Ut readeth nu, Julcus. Fortvarde fräckes, mit baldenes. Få vi åt avvägande, lägget oss garn! Yeah, Yaro.
Do now have a wheelbarrow being pulled out by Pink, and do have these horsemen falling back. Spearmen are charging on forward. We've got the new age, but Green has gone for the castle. He, of course, those the castle Palace of Kings, so he does have access to his own second town center now. Rather than pulling out a town center, he just relied on it, likely. Horsemen and King are now taking some good engagement. There's a good number of spearmen here. The King is classified as heavy melee cavalry, so he will receive extra damage from these spearmen, as well as from crossbowmen. Now we have some knights being pulled out to assist the King. He's a very good health regen there, so his battered forces can fall back, get some much needed healing. Now, Pink has gotten Castle Age as well. We do got the, of course, Astronomical Clock Tower, got the Imperial Academy, Bardic and the Sun.
Thine Hestis. Get to the ready for Hestis. Fuse to serve.
Let's fast forward now. Both players are trying to eco up. Green is trying to poke forward with his knight, not with his scout. And Green's now advancing forward as well. We got a pretty good alpha strike there on some of the Pink's horsemen.
Look, ye shall lay Fuse to serve.
And looks like Jaden's going to be massing up some forces. Looks like this game's going to be a nice, long, slow game. Both sides are in equal up. Green's now advancing forward into these spearmen. Does see a bit of alpha strike there. Something else the King could do as well, get as a buff, because you don't ever see the King. It gets something like the Saint's Blessing used by the warrior monks as well. There could be a lot of things that could be added to the King. I just want to make it a bit more attractive than just seeing Council Hall all the time. Council Hall right now is very, very solid because you don't need to really build any additional archer range production. It's very easy and convenient, while the Abbey of Kings does give you something unique. The Council Hall just gives you a generic, easy production of longbowmen. It saves you about like 300 wood in comparison. Because after all, the Council Hall is like an archer range that works 300% faster. Nothing else special than that. Not 300% faster, 100% faster is equivalent to archer ranges. So it just saves you 300 wood, while the Abbey of Kings give you something a little bit more unique. And an AoE heal health regen could be very handy for your raiding parties. Knights and Horsemen now engaging. Does use the ritual there, but it's completely out of range. Can the King be converted? Hopefully not. Looks like this force is backing on off. Does get some good damage there. Does lose one of his knights. Does lose a couple horsemen here. There could have been lancers as well. And this monk is trying to go for the secret site now. Pink is starting to wall up this region. Green is walling up this region. And this horseman will escape on out of there. Does not interrupt the deployment of the walls. This horse is nice healed up, barring the King himself. We do now have this palisade gate now under fire from these horsemen, but they do fall back now. And now they're pushing forwards once again. They do fall back now. These forces may just want to camp it a little bit better. You can throw some spearmen inside the tower to get some arrows firing. Both sides have claimed a sacred site. Horsemen trying to stop that sacred site from being claimed. Any skirmish damage that this army has sustained will be healed up by the king. Going for this now, this palisade wall there. There's a good number of spearmen in this region. Does fall back now. There's a wolf eating his villagers. Oops. And now we do have this monk is going down, and we've got the wolf actually eating the horsemen. Got these knights and scout advancing forward. Will not find the priest and the sacred site. This force now trying to break on the palisade wall once again. Does have still a good number of spearmen for the region. And it's going to see a bit of hit there. That can be healed up, of course. These lancers advancing forward. A lot of exposed villagers here. He does have, of course, a mill here. And looks like these villagers will get overwhelmed right there. And they do get inside the town center. A couple of them do go down. And there's multiple town centers firing, including the king's palace. Right now the villager count is in favor of pink, 102 to 70. And pink's going for a lot of research over here. Green has gotten not much research. Pink has gotten more research. And now these knights, they don't get any alpha damage strike there. They'll trap one of the lancers there. A lot of these lancers are quite wounded. He has to take time, bring back one of the scholars, and get them all healed up. The wolf does get cleaned up there as well. And now all these forces are falling on back. We have these large number of spearmen in this region, as well as a pair of lancers in this region. And now we do got a large number of clock tower nest of bees. And this force is quite bunched up. These things could do a bit of damage to those knights. Spearmen have to make sure they have to escort those clock tower nest of bees. Damn allergies. This palace gate is now under fire, and is on fire, and is now smoldering ruin. These infantry force advancing force well is lighting some houses on fire. And the knights and the king are advancing forward. The scout's still alive as well. Gains with great spotting for this region, and maybe overwhelm some of this infrastructure. Bardican's Sun's now being hit. Pink's now charging very far forward. Got some defensive longbowmen here. Going for the spring ball placement. The spring ball placement is not important at this moment in time. These clock tower SPs are camps in a bit of more abuse. Got a handful of crossbow in the field as well. These knights need to start hitting these horses. There's just too many spearmen for those knights to go back on in. These knights need to start hitting these lancers. The Abbey Kings does provide some good health regen, and does do that in combat, I believe. Actually, no, it does not. Green has these knights going around. These knights and the king advancing forward over here. Maybe we'll find these villagers trying to pull out granary and rice farms. Villagers, of course, can't get inside this town center. It does have two town centers constantly firing away. Some of these farms have been set ablaze. And some of these crossbowmen being killed up as well. Did those spearmen just throw torches on top of that crossbowman? Clock tower and nest of bees. One of them has gone down. The other two are super fire. But thanks to them being clock tower, they do have the extra health. Spearmen now going to be picked apart by these town centers, so they're much more vulnerable to the town center fire. Knights now turning forward, trying to deal with some more villagers. Both sides are just losing a massive number of villagers. Green has 61, Pink has 88. King's Palace now receiving a bit of fire, has 5,000 health. The primary town center has 5,000 health as well. And these spearmen will be ripped apart by all these extra arrows. These knights have been cleaned up by these spearmen, but it's still got these knights here. The granary could be picked off, but it will not. Spearmen are slowly being whittled apart, trying to focus down these long bowmen. And this area is still being protected. Holy crap, Pink's down to 66. The villager count has been evened out severely. And a lot of these granaries could be focused down as well. And these forces now just getting ran around and being picked on off. If these forces sustain a bit of damage, the Abbot Kings can heal them up quite nicely. You got a defensive Pink keep here, and these villagers going down. Green now has a superior number of villagers in his opponent, and Pink only has spearmen here. It's only spearmen to put on the map. Green does have a nice mix of mostly knights. No, it's like a mix, is it? And these forces may just want to fall back. They're quite wounded. They may want to bust down a palisade wall here. It feels like all the breaches have been patched. Most of this force will be cleaned on up, so might as well dance around, keep opponents at your base. It gives you time to recover. As long as it just stays around these granaries, it will pose a constant threat and prevent these villagers from gathering up all their food. Even putting out palisade walls there just to choke up these forces. Knights, however, do manage to slip on through, and the king's health regen has been very successful, but the king himself may go down. Looks like green has... That cannot be correct. 259 gold income. It may not calculate it until these guys start depositing. Oh yeah, it doesn't start counting until it starts depositing. Knights are alive, King is still alive, that's pretty still good health regen. Keep is still alive, so is able to get some good arrow fire onto these knights. And he's not... Oh, he does create an opening there, allowing his forces to escape. The king does escape on out with a handful... Oh, never mind. Wait. Did they all go... Did you delete them? Oh, I thought they would escape on out there, but they actually all went down, apparently. He's not going for the Sacred Site. The Sacred Site's just being camped by 2 horsemen. And you got all these knights being put up by Green as well. He has not gotten a lot of research. Look at Green's research at the moment. He is upscaling his research quite a bit. I think he's been focusing so heavily on knights. He's now getting this gold income. He's using that to get all this research going. Ink has still a decent amount of research. This game will continue on for quite some time. Got a big wave of Spearman Base 4. Takes out those scouts. Green's backing off. He's going for this forward gold mine. He still has this safe gold mine here as well. And now the Spearman advances forward, but they're Spearmen. They're going to get ripped apart by the castle arrows. And he does, of course, make them not throw torches on the castle there with that knight charge. Either he engages the knight or engages the castle with the keep. Neither. Let's do really much neither. Of course, got these longbowmen here. The keeps are for the English can deploy military units as well. Nested bees to fire a volley there. Those nested bees has gone down. Got some springbolts coming into melee range to those longbow apparently. And Spearman's still trying to deal with this keep and will be eventually set ablaze, but he has plenty of villagers inside the keep itself. King's advance is not going all too well. We've got this clock, another clock tower, nested bees pushing way forward. Seems more castle fire. King's advance is not going well whatsoever. He needs trebuchets. We can pop the castle now and start repairing it up. The castle does provide some good firepower. He can still lose some villagers. The villager count is 85 to 92, so both villagers count are minimal. Palisade Gate is receiving a bit of fire from these forces. And now got the Spearmen trying to dissuade them from being in the region. Let's get some damage there, falling back to these forces. Does have a fresh king, which does provide some good forward healing. And all these forces have sustaining a little bit of damage, and all of that stuff will be topped off. Very nice. He's now trying to repair up this castle. We have some palace guards being blown out of the field. They're a fast man-at-arms unit. They have less armor. Let's see, they have for now 3-3 base armor. I don't see if there's any man-at-arms for Green, so I can't really give them a comparison. Green's not going for another castle over here. And it's going to be collecting all the stone. At this point in time, he's running out of gold here. He may need to start eyeing for some trade caravans, go some mid-range trade caravans, just generate some sort of gold income. He has a couple deposits remaining, but he's down to about 4,000 gold left in his territory. Now we've got clock tower battering rams, which will be very durable units, that's for sure. We need trebuchets. Berkshire Castle has been built. Oh, that was a Berkshire Castle, not a keep. My mistake. Now that's exactly what it needs. Clock tower bombard. I was thinking trebuchets, but bombards work. We do now have the enclosures being researched. Of course, gives villager gold generation. Each farm enclosed being worked by a villager generates +1 gold every 0.5 or every 5 seconds. It sounds like it's also a mill buff, not necessarily a farm buff. We got a large number of palace guards as well as elite spearmen. That should be more than enough defense force for these battering rams. Bombards. Bombard does see a bit of fire there. What's up about bombards? Far too close, isn't it? Now the knights gonna come forward, trying to take over those bombards. I'm not sure what weapon that was that went down. Bombards receiving lots of arrow fire. Battering rams now receiving some fire from the villagers, literally. He does load his force, trying to deal with these forces. He does get the bombard alive. The bombard is just far too close. But it looks like he will pick up the castle, backing off the bombard now to get out of range of the castle. This outpost does go down as well. Keep now boosting some repairs. Bombard, Ellen's entire force is falling back. He's sort of withdrawing a bit disjointly. Takes out a couple of those forces there. They're just palace guards and spearmen just sort of streaming on in. We've got these villagers eventually are forward. I don't know where they're trying to pull something. Both players are Imperial Age as well. What Imperial Age one did he go for? Spirit Way. Spirit Way. Dynasty related technology can be researched here for 50% cost and increase research speed. When a dynasty unit is killed, nearby units will see plus 20% attack speed and 20% health over 10 seconds. That's probably why he's going for those what's it called? Palace guards. He also could go for some other upgrades here, but not going for the time being. Sacred Site being decaptured. Do the clockwork units count as dynasty units? They do not have the unique unit icon, so perhaps not. Bombards advancing out forward as well. We've got these forces engaging the infantry forces. We've got a lot of elite man-at-arms for Green. Palace guards are engaging in melee as well. And the keepers receiving quite a bit of fire. Two bombards can make short work of it. Spearmen trying to engage these knights. Longbowmen tower firing some good amount of arrows. Palace guards do have 2 less armor for both pack and pierce armor, while they do have increased movement speed. Keep going on down. He's trying to get to those bombards. The keep will like to go on down, and the keep has been upgraded cannon placement as well. One moment trying to deal with these bombards. That's looking great. It does keep there as well. Pink's not going for his own keep right here, trying to secure this gold. There's still 3,418 gold remaining, so that is definitely a worthy investment to claim that gold. When he's running low his own gold supplies back here, that has 200 gold left. That is nothing. And the other gold supply I think has consumed, so Pink desperately does need that gold supply. He may want to start get a small trickle caravanners as well. Oops, a bit of a lag spike there, my apologies. His keep has been cancelled or deployed on forward. And that mill will go down. Knights eyeing to perhaps push on forward into this base. Or because hit the bombards. Too bad we can't garrison the bombards inside the keep, just to keep them safe. Because he doesn't really need them at the moment. And green going for the next gold vein right there. There's a bit of gold here as well. It's a small one. Not this large one. This one's basically a small one. What's remained left for Pink. Still got these knights moving around. The King's getting them nice and healed up. Getting some good hits there. Palace Guards is charging forward. He has a large number of Palace Guards. So his man arms plus Palace Guards. Got hand cannoneers squad up by green as well. Time violence wouldn't be half bad for Pink. We're trying to claim up his forces, but there's just a large number of Palace Guards here. Trying to overwhelm these forces. Longbow just going to hold the line there. Springbolt hitting these clock tower bombard towers, but it takes 6 Springbolt hits taken out. That one does go down. And Pink does manage to break on through. Keep is a little bit exposed. There's a lot of defense there. Those pushing way forward as well. One Pink bombard remains. Pink still trying forward and trying to build Springbolts. This bombard looks like will go down to these lancers or knights. Bombard does go down and it will be falling back. Has a bit of fire there, but nothing that King can't heal up. This force started advancing on forward. Got more hand cannon slits being applied by something in tide spawn. Replacing relics. Relics placed monster gives plus 30, 30, 30 non-gold resources. Speaking about gold, there's currently 2 relics inside this monastery as well. Got these Palace Guards getting some great damage on in there, but they're slowly whittled apart by these various forces. King's now pushing forward, trying to get some good damage there. The Abbey of Kings can of course provide some good health regen once he does defend this region. And should be able to get these guys quickly all healed up, ready to go on for a counterattack. Looks like a cannon placement somewhere? Oh, there's a cannon placement on this outpost here. These outposts being upgraded Springbolt emplacements, and this one's the hand cannoneer slits. Villagers are now trying to run away. This gold has mostly been mined on up. This one is not collecting anything at the moment. He's garrisoned it. He needs to get those guys ungarrisoned and start collecting, because that's 18 villagers. He needs to start collecting all that gold. In fact, Green's low on gold. Not sure how long this villager idle. Green still has a significant force here. Needs to fall back to the Abbey Kings, get some good health regen. We have some fire lasers being pulled out on the field. Very nice. And also going for the biology, increase the health of all cavalry by 30%. We got these Palace Guards advancing forward. Palace Guards, of course, are very mobile. They're able to perform flanks all by their own. Got some spear in the mixes for them as well. Green already has 103 villagers. His opponent has 127. To go with the reserves as well. Got good food or wood and gold reserve for Pink. Green has no reserve of resources whatsoever, but does have a pretty sizable army still here. And now these fire lancers are going forward. Wait, did all those villagers go down to fire lancers? Oh, there's that group there. The AoE damage should have ripped them apart. He's back off some of them. Are these yeah, they're all fire lancers. That Pink's eyeing for his own castle slow, trying to claim some more of this gold. Pink's not trying to go for a kill, he's trying to secure resources, he's trying to win the war of attrition. At the current rate, he's doing a good job of that. But Green has access to some gold generation with his mills, and this mill's outside of his walls as well. Speaking about walls, They're going on up stone walls. Let's see now. Graniers are all up and going. King's Colony has not been harassed. Green could try getting out some trade caravans. You don't have to go max distance. Max distance, of course, provides the most amount of resources. But even getting say, maybe 10 or 20 could provide him enough gold in order to outlast his opponent after he's expending his gold income. Because combined with that with the farms, generating a little bit extra gold. Just an idea, though. Firelance advancing force. Firelances do have great special attack there. Got the global healing effect there. And there's some great AoE damage on those forces. But the Abbey of Kings could counteract those Firelances' AoE damage by healing them in an AoE. We've got hand cannoneers brought up by Green. Firelances now charging forward, trying to deal with these counter with trebuchets. Killing off these counter with trebuchets is a nice little boon. Backing him off now. Let's get some good damage there. Able to get some AoE damage even on the farms. Now going for the King's Palace. Taking out these, well, that can always be rebuilt. This opponent does have less villager components, so taking out villagers is actually quite important. King's Palace is going to be burned to death. Got these lasers so just going around everywhere, getting some great damage onto these villagers. The reason I was starting to respawn, he does have a backline castle here. For some odd reason, but it does be useful. Green has some man-at-arms and spearmen here, getting some very sporadic damage on these forces. And these fire lances will be forced on back. Green has 90 villagers. This one has 133. Great volley there. Green does have a good reserve of food and has a decent gold income without any gold miners. Here's some good damage there with Palace Guards. Hand Cannoneers don't care what they shoot at. All they care about they are shooting. And Pink will be backing off his force now. Let's keep here. We'll of course keep the Berkshire Castle unbuilt. And Pink will claim up all that gold. There's still a bit of gold here as well, so Pink does have a lot of gold nodes to work with. Nice to get a good hit there as well, trying to deal with these forces. Let's get inside the keep now, going for a cannon placement. Right now, the Yuan Dynasty Pyrotechnics increase the range of hand cannoneers by plus 1.5. That is quite significant, honestly. There's not many upgrades for hand cannoneers, so getting range upgrades for hand cannoneers can be very handy indeed. Palace Guards now charging forward, trying to deal with more of these villagers. Very nice. They, of course, are very fast and mobile, hard for man-at-arms to keep up with them. Getting some great damage there onto these villagers. These Palace Guards will be cleaned up, but do get a large number of kills on these villagers. This one's down to 87. Green's not going for some battering rams, which should be useful to help poke down holes in some of these keeps. Firelights are not being pursued by these knights. He can redeploy out his king as well. Tower does go down, going for mining camp, but that mining camp's not going at the moment. Let's spot each other there. Get a great volley there on those fire lancers. Go look at each player's reserves. Chinese players does not have a whole lot of gold. Has good reserve of food and wood, so they want to pull out some trash. Oops, sorry, I hit my microphone. My apologies. And we do have Green has a good reserve of everything at the moment, barring stone. Green, Pink, the Chinese player does have a small income of stone thanks to some monastery technologies. We've got these hand cannoneers on the high ground. They do, of course, have a 7.5 attack range. Green's only has a 4 tile attack range. That is a pretty sizable range for Pink's hand cannoneers thanks to its unique technology. Iron is pushing way forward, getting some good hits there on these mining camps. And now we do got a defensive keep here. Fire Lancers, Hand Cannoneers, and Palace Guards being pulled on out. And each one time these units come on board, does get a bit of extra health regen, but these Fire Lancers are just getting annihilated, so is the Palace Guards. And Cannoneers getting some great damage there. Greens make a slow advance push. Pink needs some Nest of Bees at the moment, honestly. Because that would be very, very effective versus this force right now. We got some batteries being pulled out by Pink, but it does not have any sort of Nest of Bees in the build tube, looks like. Fire Lancers trying to get some damage there onto these battery rams, trying to save his keep. And it looks like Pink will slowly grind his way defense force here. Anakin near force is falling back. Green's battery rams have gone down. Pink still has 125 villagers, one has 103. And we got this force here sort of making a soft retreat now. Pink's starting to rebuild some of his walls. And there's walls around everywhere. So Pink has walled off his opponent with his stone walls. And does go by a palace gate there as well, which he could use to mount some of these hand cannoneers up on this wall section here. And putting the gate over here makes it so you can't really push forward all too well. The gate has not been completed just yet. So these villagers are starting to get on hit. These villagers will go down. And now the gate has collapsed, which has allowed both sides to go up the walls. Green trying to make his way up the walls. Palace Guards engaging these units are going up the walls. And Pink's hand cannoneers are just trying to deal with them as well. But Green has a better position. The choke points go in favor of Green. Right now, Pink is running low on gold. Has small gold reserves. He's claiming all this gold here, but that has been denied. This gold here has been cleaned up, so as the Imperial officials to collect some gold as well. Does have a keep here. Have a decent defense force here, including some battering rams. These forces are getting seeing a bit of fire there, but the Palace Guards are going down. Do now have a outpost here as well as, of course, the keep. It does soften his opponent's advance. He perhaps could take time to rebuild that as well. So I think Fire Lancers do stream on forward as well. Sorry, I missed that. These guys need to be in general attack order now. Lancers will go on forward, start hitting some of these villagers. Starting to get cleaned on up, but still got the defensive keep over here, so the farms are staying alive. This force does have an important benefit of forcing back your opponent back in your base, make him play defensive so he can regather force. He has not rebuilt the wall there, trying to go for a fresh mining camp there. And he's building a stone wall gate there. And building a stone wall here. Irams do see a bit of fire there. Green's pulling out a large number of horsemen. Green's low on gold. Doesn't think has any traders at the moment. Stone wall gate will go ahead and go on down. Hand Cannoneers, of course, get the good first volley there. Batteries receiving a bit of fire, which actually made it good for Pink, allowing him to deal with all these spearmen. And Cannoneers now going to the high ground as well, so Pink has been on the high ground. Horseman's trying to come for a flank. Batteries are charging forward, trying to deal with these towers. That did provide the castle network, so no longer Green has a castle network. Green's getting some good damage there. Got various long bowmans here. Long bowmen, of course, are very effective versus these light units as well. They're lacking armor, but Hand Cannoneers push just a bit harder. Veterans charging forward, getting some great damage there on the infrastructure for against green. These forces are being streamed on in, and these forces are going to be starting a certain way, trying to avoid the high ground, trying to reform the lines. Villagers haven't really been hit, but now they're going to be pursued. Battering rams still going forward. He's using villagers to clean up those battering rams. I got these fire lanes advancing forward. These villagers are very, very stacked up, but these fire lanes just connect. There's going to be a lot of AoE damage to do inside the town center. Never mind. Hank more and more Hank being poured out, trying to close this breach. Green still has a decent amount of gold generation. So does Pink. Both of them have similar gold generation. But now Pink's going for some sacred sites, so is Green. Pink's force there does fall back. But these fire laces are going a bit too far in, so it's going to just stand there engaged. Spearmen are going to be hunting them down. Pink and green are just now throwing a lot of force there. Pink needs to go back right around here, get some reinforcements, may throw them on the small segments here. And green does have a battering ram over here, so he's starting to build out some battering rams to flank his opponent, or maybe just try to do that just to open up that wall. There's a good number of castles here, one of them upgraded cannon placement. Green's lumberjacks went a bit too far forward, will be annihilated. There's a lot of lumber mills here. Interesting. We've got a defensive castle network over here, and there's a lot of foliage to help cover up that region, so that's a good spot for the castle network. Longbowmen could perhaps go on the high ground as well.
Commander, mate.
And he could apply a king to help top up these guys' help. Pink is claiming this sacred site. It is very important for Pink to get those golden cones, because right now he doesn't. He's lacking much gold generation. Once this gold mine's cleaned on or gathered, that is all the gold on the map all collected. Firelands does cancel that keep right there. Got a good number of man-at-arms, spearmen, and hand cannoneers advancing forward. These hand cannoneers are still just trying to fire away. He needs to get down to those walls and those reinforcements. Damage on these forces. Pink is going to be pulling that up. Pink is lacking any sort of military production. Right now he has a 36. He needs more. He needs arch. He probably just needs to pull out regular archers at this point in time. He's lacking the gold. Getting a good collection of gold at despite that moment. But right now Pink is down to 27 military units. Green has plenty of military units at the moment. Right now he just needs to throw anything that he can. Horsemen, spearmen, archers, anything that can fight, because right now he has reserves down to minimum. Chinese, English player doesn't have a whole lot of reserve resources as well. It does have good reserve of gold. Not sure where English is using all that gold at the moment. Maybe it's a gold mine I'm not seeing somewhere on the map. Maybe that's all from the farms. Because right now it's very, very variable. So it could be all that from farms and other passive generations. So Green may have enough gold, passive gold generation for the rest of the game. People going down. We got more barracks people on the front line, going for a defensive keep right there. Firelines is charging forward, trying to get some good damage. If he charges on in, that will force back his opponent. Potentially. But now the Lancers actually are not going deep in. Firelines is pushing forward. That gives Pink a bit of a breathing room. This gold is almost cleaned up, and that'll be the last of Pink's gold reserve. Alright, let's get some great damage there. He doesn't have actually cross-cut axe or saw either. Batteries have gone down. Stone walls stay up. More batteries been pulled on out. As before, a bit of lumber there. House Guard charging forward, trying to deal with these forces. Able to quickly over those distance here. That wall does go down. Gets good damage there. Battery pushing more holes there. The gatehouse does go down as well. House Guard trying to overwhelm these cannoneers. Right now, Pink has 53 versus 70 forces, so they have a similar number at the moment. Both sides are streaming more and more military units. More fire lances for the Chinese player. He needs to pull out. He's running low on food at the moment. I'm not sure where all of his food, golden comes from at the moment. Trade caravans. He's going for a very long distance trade caravan, or that needs a wall segment right now, because right now they're taking not a good path right there. He may just want to delete a wall segment in the corner. This keeps running through Paragon up. This force is advancing on forward. Got more and more horsemen. Respawn out a lot of trash horsemen as well. Palace guards are charging forward. That's good health regen from the dead nearby friendlies. All the battery rams have gone down. We also now have Zinch News we put out. An X and anti-light unit. They don't do any bonus damage for light, they just good have first attack that does good damage, which could be effective versus the low armored units. Trade caravans are taking an improper route, needs to delete some of these wall segments. And now these horsemen do find the trade as well. This is not looking good for the Chinese player. He needs that gold. The Chinese player does have a small reserve of gold as well. Trying to patch up this walls. He does keep an opening there. And Zinch News now firing away. He does on hand cannoneer. He's going for the elite Zinch News upgrade. Great AoE damage on these forces. Horsemen still running around, getting some hits there on these traders. Looks like Green has not gone for any traders yet. If he needs a touch more gold, he can get out a handful. He's not blowing out forward to keep here, and maybe in range of each other. It's hard for me to tell. Looks like it's not. Horsemen have been cleaned on up. Green, there's only this tiny little breach there. Oh, we've got these horsemen still going around. Horsemen still being a bit of a problem for Pink. Trebuchet has been pulled out by Green now. We got a large number of Zinch News pushing way forward, trying to get some good damage on these forces. They do, of course, have the elite upgrade, giving 9x3 attack, up to 27 damage, minus armor, which is plus 3 armor with the spearmen, so essentially up to like 18 damage per attack. Mainly put them on the high ground. And got these forces sort of just trying to dogpile in, they're sort of dancing around a bit funnily. Got some fire lances going on the field. Some clockwork, also some Nest of Bees here, doesn't have to be clockwork. Wouldn't be half bad to help deal with this choke. Dude, oh, he destroys one of his own walls, so he's going to get his battery rams pushing forward to hit that keep. This area is pretty good size of a choke point there. Horseman does spot those battery rams. And now that breach there that he created could be a bit of a problem. Horsemen charging forward, and those are fire lances. But the palace guards also charging forward as well, as with the Zinch News. Cannoneers, I think they're overkilling some stuff. They do clean up all those battering rams there. Now there's another opening. Big wave of fire lances charging forward, trying to deal with this castle there. Doesn't go for a charge down to the hand cannoneers. Boy is supposed to face forward, got the battering rams charging forward as well. Horsemen trying to deal with the battering rams. And these fire lances going straight for the villager line or somewhere. More and more Pink's forces are starting to stream on in as he's trying to go for a counterattack. This force is not sustaining a lot of damage. Horsemen now exploit the breach that he created, and there's going to be another breach over here relatively soon as well. Horsemen now charging forward, trying to deal with these various forces. More and more of these hand cannoneers firing away, getting some good kills on these forces that's streaming on forward. Both are just trying to dogpile in. That's a work there. You have these fire lancers charging forward, trying to get some good kills, maybe onto these villagers. Pink Manias are regroup these forces here. This keep is slowly going on down. So these forces are quite wounded. And these Lancers do, Fire Lancers do finding good hits there on these villagers. He currently has 145 villagers, his opponent has 103. The Chinese player has a huge reserve of gold right now. It's, like I said before, and I think some necessities would be great. But Zunchnu's, of course, not half bad either. Forces advance forward. Try to go rebuild the souls, and he is going to rebuild it. He does lose that keep as a hard point there. More and more palace guards charging on in. These barracks aren't actually growing anything at the moment. He has plenty of population room for him to start growing. He is having trouble with macro. Does pull out a whole bunch of wood stuff there. Now he's going for some nest bees finally. More of these palace guards are just going to just reinforce here. With the fact that he still hasn't had to lead him on these walls and there, now these villagers, all these traders can be gunned down. Now he's going in his own straight line. More of these hand cannoneers and Zunchnu's being blown out. The Necipes are on the build too as well. Horsemen now charging forward. Pink's trying to go to the defensive castle here. Pink's castle here is almost gone down. Now here comes the nest of bees. Fires a massive volley into these hand cannoneers, wiping out a good chunk of them and severely wounding the other chunk. The next volley can wipe out almost the entire army there. It does almost wipe out the entire army. We got some longbows being charged on in, but of course a decent cheap unit. The English player is just trying to maintain his minimum passive gold income. Like I said, he could use 10 or 20 traders, so he really have that, doesn't good max distance. Clock Tower or Nest of Bees are now being hit. Got more Nest of Bees before now. The horsemen were unable to get a single kill on those Nest of Bees, and now this infantry force is very, very vulnerable to those Nest of Bees. More and more palace guards turning forward to hold the line. Man-at-arms trying to charge on forward as well. Got his horse, fire lancers and all that sort. He's just trying to charge towards those Nest of Bees. Retain some of those man-at-arms. Of course, have the extra armor as well, because they're English. Most of these Nest of Bees are starting to be overwhelmed. They're still going down in the front line here, and these traders still going down. He's lost a large number of forces here. He's trying to build more and more forces. I think the Chinese player is going... He's just degrading. He does get some good kills there on those villagers, but his front line's broken. His production is not good. His opponent has 90 units versus 22. And the Chinese player has backed out of the game. Overall, great game by both players. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. As this game started loading out, I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everyone. Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. Let's see now. Who should I cast next? Next person on the leaderboard is this person. Let's see. It's hard to tell who's the correct one. Gold one that may not be him. Too many names to find, so let's try to find this person now. One person, very easy to find, and hidden. Can I copy a emoji? Oops, that's gonna find everybody, isn't it? There we go. Let's see if he has any replays. Oh, hidden. Let's go on to this person next. Two of them. One's online. That looks like him. And a bunch of customs. Let's see, here we go. We've got some soul ranks. 33 minutes. We could try that one. Rus Mir. 42 minutes. Holy Roman Empire versus English. Let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and great here of another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on bottom right side as the English player, we have Wallum01. Spawn on top left side as the Holy Roman Empire, we have a Lord. Gonna suck on that thing. Looks like this scout does find his opponent immediately, finds some sheep. I think he may have took the sheep that's around his town center as well, so Orton stole some sheep potentially. Or likely sheep. We took out an early prelate here. Getting some inspired target unit. Slowly trying to get all these guys inspired to work faster. And now we do have the Akin Chapel. If I remember correctly, that does have a giant aura to provide like 40% gathering speed. Gotta make sure you put that in the location you want to put a whole bunch of farms. Does X has a resource drop off? Yes, it does for all resources. I do have the Abbey Kings spawn now as well. This is the second time I've seen this today where the English person's going for the Abbey Kings. I like to see things different, so this is quite nice to see. Abbey Kings will allow him to deploy out his king. The real question is this a game of checkers or a game of chess? In which, probably chess because there's only one king. Checkers, you can get multiple kings. You have, okay, that's just a scout there. This man at arms in a patrol move, trying to get some damage on him, but of course there's an outpost here already. Scout there, and we do got the wolf eating up those villagers. Do now have an archer to put on the field, getting some hits there onto the scout. Look for some defensive archers. Akin Chapel has been loaded up with a, what's it called, prelate, because as long as the prelate inside, it gets that massive aura benefit. Going fast forward, looks like both sides just eyeing the eco up. Yellow's now going for our town center. And the king and a horseman now pushing on forward. The scout is telling you the king of where to hunt the most dangerous game. And the king will be more than obliged to hunt that most dangerous game. Man, oh, I'm still here. I think he's just trying to camp this deer. And he's not going back in just yet. The king's leading his sheeple around as well. And we got a small reserve force here of spearmen and archer. Getting the king to just patrol around like this applies some pressure to your opponent, not necessarily to do damage, make sure your opponent stays on defense. Can be quite handy indeed. That means you can start being aggressive with the economy, not have to worry about it being punished in return. We got another barracks being pulled on out here. He's going for double barracks, one archery range. And the king is going to find Ingle. The king is going to charge, finds the most dangerous game, does get some slices there, hits not the same villager, does take out that villager now. The scout casts, of course, health regen, plus the king has a health regen aura. And there we go, these forces are falling back, spearmen in pursuit of these forces. The man-at-arm is still running around. I think he actually was healed up by the king himself. Let's go and fast forward again, because right now both sides are still ecoing up. The king got his kill in. He may be aware of the small little force down here that's going to harass him. We now have a Palace Kings being pulled out as well. Very early Palace Kings. Of course, does act as a town center. It's a little expensive compared to town center, but it reaches age 3 as well. Now you can pull out knights nice and early on. These forces try to back on off. Let's see a bit of fire there. And of course, the English archer says it is trying to retaliate against the spearmen. The English archers can, or villagers can easily retaliate versus spearmen. Let's get some good hits there as well. Another villager does go down, or spearman goes down, not villager. This archer still being a bit of a problem here. Going from a monastery now, and now you got a knight being pulled out in order to deal with these forces. Here now, this knight advancing forward, trying to run down this archer, does get a good hit there, and will be able to run him down.
And are to Hiren.
Kurse i saddle! Scouter är ready! Förvänta i hästar!
I think the scout's gonna be that king's wife. She's gonna be a queen one day, probably. But either way, man-at-arms is still saying hi to the deer. Now this king and a scout advancing on forward. Try to find another kill. We do have some knights coming in support as well. Looks like we do have the Zingith Cathedral being pulled now. Zingith, however you pronounce it. Zignit Cathedral. Access monastery. All relics get generate additional gold while garrison, which is okay. Nothing too significant in my opinion. And yep, that's it. Hopefully, it does only have 3 relic space there. If it was able to support more relics, I would say that'd be a bit better. But having 3 relics provide additional 100 gold, doesn't seem like that significant to me. It'd be nice, but if it was to able to garrison all relics, and say, let's just say, it has an absurd number of relics, can be garrison 10, then it would be something a little bit different. This knight's advancing forward does receive some spearman hits as well, and does go down. This knight's falling back. We do have, of course, the King's Health Regen Aura healing up the knight as well as that scout. Right now, villager count is 51 to 46. That makes sense because the Palace Kings does slow down your second town center production deployment. Orange is not going for wheelbarrow. There are 14 spearmen here, which should be decent versus any sort of knight aggression. Both players are now at Castle Age as well. And you got this force advancing forward as well, trying to find these units. It does get forced back thanks to these spearmen. This knight does get spotted by the spearmen as well. And this knight and scout will engage each other with a spearman to support. Spearman could probably just stand there and fight, get some good damage on in. And the King's Health Regen Aura will top up all of these units here health. Yellow's not going for veteran spearmen, which makes sense. His opponent's going for heavy in knights. And probably should eye crossbowmen as well. Let's see. I just see spearman in production queue. He's going to have soon to have 30. He does have an archer range here. Spearman, scout, and a prelate advancing forward. Great hits there onto that knight. Does get a good hit there. You got the knight charging forward. Got it. Oh, try to scare his opponent with that, but luckily it was not successful. And this force will be falling back. Again, another ritual there, just to panic your opponent. Knights are advancing on forward. We do have these spearmen advancing on forward as well, trying to perhaps get an engagement onto these villagers, but of course there is the Palace King in this area. Sheep following the king to victory. We've got an exotic doggy gonna be stabbed. making the ATF proud. And over here, this man-at-arms finally gets cleaned on up. Wait, can a van early? Oh, it is an early man-at-arms, not a vanguard man-at-arms, but that early man-at-arms gets some great damage there. More spearmen coming forward to support the spearmen, and that man-at-arms did not get a kill there. Ooh, got a bit of engagement here. It's a little bit of risky engagement. The king needs to make sure he doesn't sustain any damage there, so he can. The king himself cannot be affected by his own health regen aura. We got this force of spearmen here as well, but their vision of each other are probably very, very pathetic. If I were to switch over... Oh crap. They have forced him there. He could have got a conversion there. But if we do... This is orange vision, because he has a scout there. If we go to yellow, this is his vision inside the forest there. So if he would have actually had that monk inside the forest, he potentially could have got a convert there. The spearmen now push on forward. The knights will find an opportunity to advance on forward. A very, very large number of spearmen. No crossbowmen whatsoever. I'm sort of surprised about that. If fighting against knights, crossbowmen would have been like a clear, logical idea for a counter. Let's force us fall back. The king's almost down. The soon-to-be queen is still alive as well as the sheeple. And now we've got these spearmen advancing forward. There's 25 of them. I don't think they can do too much versus these, the King's Palace and the settlements. We do have a monastery here. Load up 2 relics. Oh, and he will find that monk, will take him out, denying that relic. And now the sacred site is being captured up, which is going to be very useful because you need that bit of extra gold, especially when we're going for heavy knight play. This opponent, he's been getting minimal gold production at the moment. He's going for Pierce armor as well, as probably just in case sort of thing, because right now his opponent doesn't have any ranged units. So I suppose if he goes forward, he's going to need some defense versus town centers and all that sort. Palace and King's Palace should be able to stop these spearmen. They're going to see a bit of fire there. Villagers do fire some arrows so they can back on off of this little grove they've created in order to fire their arrows. There's something a little bit exposed there. Oh, he needs to make sure he has the far side of that. Then they can start firing their own defensive arrows. They're going to be passed on the line now. There's a man-at-arms over there. And the spearmen just going deep. Got these man-at-arms pushing forward. There are full man-at-arms, no vanguard, no early man-at-arms, just man-at-arms, man-at-arms. We've got some various outposts here, which are probably meant for mostly spouting, not necessarily for the castle network. And do have a large number of crossbowmen being put out by Orange, which at this point in time he does not need, because right now he's fighting against spearmen, although he's building out some man-at-arms now, so I suppose it will be good to get them on later on, or even now, I guess. But he's only been seeing spearmen. Maybe the knights saw something, maybe the king saw something. Yeah, you can argue with the king. Well, I'm American, so you question the king, and if you question the king dies. Spearman not going to stand there and fight, engage these 4 knights. He just want to make sure they spearmen clean up. He's going to take an unfavorable engagement. But any wounded knights can be brought back to the Abbey Kings, get healed up. Man-at-arms now being researched with 2-handed weapons, increasing their damage output by 2. I really should change the animation to get 2-handed weapons. Do not these crossbows firing away. Get some good damage there onto those man-at-arms. Does this actually change this so they have an icon of 2-handed arms? Because I think maybe that's what the Landsknechts would technically were. Maybe it was originally an upgrade for the man-at-arms. Now I've got the Palace of Swabia, which is different from the Kingdom of Swadia and from Bannerlord. Not Bannerlord, Mountain Blade Warband. Man-at-Arms advancing forward, crossbow in here as well. Trying to hunt down these horses. Remember, their vision is pathetic. It does find a stone mine here, which will burn it down, but may just need to fall back from it. Knights are falling on back as well. A new age has begun for yellow. What landmark did he go for? Oh, that's not the right landmark. We got these man-at-arms trying to gauge these forces. And oh, they do actually change the animation to actually get the two-handed weapons. Oh, very, very nice. So they actually did make that graphical change there. Not necessarily change. Bit of extra polish, just leave it at that. After the town center, villagers produce 200% faster at 66% less cost. So if you start losing villagers, this will allow you to recover back the game. It's not really a landmark you can rush in order to get increase your villager output faster than your opponent. It's more of a, oh, I've lost a lot of villagers. Let me quickly get those replaced and make raiding a lot less effective for your opponent. It's more or less just trying to damage your opponent's economy, but less so. These forces are now falling back to town center. This time, we're going to see get off a lot of arrows. And now you got the Weingard Palace. You actually don't really see that all too often. People mostly go for aggressive Berkshire Palace. The Weingard Palace, or however you pronounce it, gives you access to Weingard. How do you pronounce that? Units. Good damage on these forces. And does get inside the Calyx King as well. So these guys are slowly being whittled apart. They do have +2 pierce armor, up to 7 pierce armor. And so these town centers do 1 damage per arrow. That's not a lot, to say the least. So if we start seeing some of those Weingard Palace units, we'll see what makes them special. Because they get access to Weingard Raiders, which seems a sort of longbow variant. The Weingard Footmen, which they look like the militia in the campaign, the Axewood Militia as an icon unit. Of course, the Weingard Raiders, 3 horsemen and 3 knights, but those are not Weingard versions. And Weingard Army, which includes 2 spearmen, 2 crossbow, and a trebuchet, which gives you a pretty cheap trebuchet, honestly. You probably even need to put that up for the trebuchet. Let's see if we can see in those unique Weingard units. It also means you can get those like variations without needing to get the elite upgrades, probably. So I'm hoping he's going to employ them out relatively soon because I want to see them. Because I really don't know what's unique about them. Man-at-Arms getting some good hits there on the Man-at-Arms. They're of course elite versus non-elite. But of course the crossbowmen do some great work. Do I hear a cannon somewhere? Yes, we do see a bombard hitting the keep. Spearmen and Man-at-Arms pushing way forward. Keep is now being researched with the castle network of castles and unique technology. And let's keep that palace selected. I want to see him deploy out these unique units. The palace is, or this keeps now receiving quite a bit of fire. There's now 2 bombards on the field. And they also got some villagers being employed out here. The wolf is trying to stop this horseman. And he does hold ground a horseman here just to stop him from closing that gap. Very, very nice. Man-at-Arms advancing on back, trying to bring them back to the Abbey of Kings in order to get some good healing there. And he's not building those bannered armies yet. Yell's not eyeing for a counterattack. He is at pop cap, so when you're at pop cap, you best attack if the opponent's not attacking you. The village account is in favor of yellow by sniffing out. Remember that Palace of Swabia result gives him a lot of villagers. So you quickly close the ranks there with a bunch of villagers. That's the primary way between each player's population. You can see here down by 50 from max population. You see here he's at max population. Guess what the difference is? 50 villagers. Also, Orange is missing some technologies. And no Vanguard Palace units. Bombards advancing forward, trying to stop the stone from being claimed. These man-at-arms getting some good hits onto these spearmen. But of course, there's also man-at-arms here as well. Looks like Orange will hold the line there, just had a superior number of man-at-arms versus opponents. So I can just click off the one there. 22 melee damage bludgeon versus the 16 damage for sword. So those two-handed wielding man-at-arms are significantly stronger than the other man-at-arms. We do also have 5-8 armor versus opponents of 9-9 armor. Though then again, the Holy Roman Empire player has not deployed out any melee armor, which is very, very important. Or just to get one now, he's getting for a lot of research at the moment, so he's mass researching, pushing forward with a bunch of bombards. Gold mine will go down. You got now hand cannoneers as was crossbowmen deployed on out of the field. These forces are quite well armored. These longmen will have severe trouble. Now these bombards will be going down to these man-at-arms. Very, very nice. These crossbowmen need to make sure they maintain distance from these elite man-at-arms. Mill will go down as well. They have a small force here just going around bashing down wall summits apparently. Orange has also claimed up this gold mine here. And we are going to see the Vanguard footmen, so we're going to see what's special about those guys. They look, the icons, I generally believe it looks like the militia units from the campaign that you fight against. So I wonder if those were supposed to be some sort of unique unit. Guiding rams receiving a bit of fire there. And now let's see the Vanguard footman. We do see some Vanguard footmen there. Specialized man-at-arms with high health and pierce armor. So they're anti-range one. Plus they do have 2 inherent less melee armor. Slow movement countered by crossbowmen. They do also have 22 attack as well, so they have the same attack as the as his opponent's man-at-arms, so that is quite significant. They have also 2 melee attacks with different attack speeds. I'm not sure which ones does which. Man-at-arms do charge over that ridge, and one of the melee attacks on the Vanguard footmen do hit faster than the opponent's footmen. These man-at-arms are going to charge into his opponent's base. Now we've got these Vanguard footmen trying to engage these man-at-arms. Of course, they are a little bit slower, or maybe not. Actually, no, they're a little bit faster than the. Nope, they're about the same speed. We have some of these, a lot of these elite longbowmen getting some damage there. We've got some hand cannoneers in the mix as well, but he needs to stop building longbowmen. He's fighting against man-at-arms. We do now have more of the special Vanguard footmen. Vanguard. I really don't know how to pronounce it. I'm now questioning myself even more. Trying to get that gold there. Orange immediately push forward against that gold claim. That still mine has been denied. We got these elite horsemen charging forward trying to deal with these villagers. Still got a monk here as well. Does have a good number of hand cannoneers in the mix as well. And we've got these regular man-at-arms getting some hits there onto that wall. There's those two Vanguard footmen pushing way forward. They actually don't have the level of accuracy, like if they're like elite or non-elite. So they are not affected by those elite upgrades. Gets those guys cleaned on up, the Cannoneers. These horsemen are getting overwhelmed by this various men-at-arms and hand cannoneers, vary both types. These forces are advancing forward as well. Lancers Knights are trying to deal with this force. These villagers have already pretty much claimed all this gold. This gold is about ready to be completely cleaned on up. Elite Knights are trying to advance forward, trying to get some good raiding done. Right now, Orange has superior military numbers to his opponent, as Yellow's just trying to force his opponent back in the base by raiding everything. Knights are trying to go for these mills here, which is very, very good. We do also have, oh, Yellow's claimed this gold here, and placing a keep here denies his opponent from able to get trade going as well. More of these villages do going down. Man-at-Arms and Vanguard trying to deal with these knights. Baganels is a good item for the Holy Roman Empire player to play out against his infantry force. Got battering rams now battering away. There's no way to get these units on top of the walls either. Good damage there. Man-at-Arms are able to overwhelm one of these Mangonels. The other one, they will be cleaned on up, unable to finish the other one. We got a force of the Vanguard Raiders, which are just knights and horsemen. Knights are only knights, horsemen are only horsemen, so no upgrades on them. Yellow's just streaming in more and more forces right there, trying to deploy waves. Orange has a pretty good shooting gallery right there. He put these hand cannoneers on top of the high ground. Battering ram does get some good hits there. Mostly got through that wall there. He may be able to destroy that wall. Does get destroyed on the wall there. Yellow's now streaming forward with these infantry forces. Hand cannoneers, man-at-arms charging up to defend this area. They got these forces sort of streaming on in as well. Yellow's just trying to be everywhere as one to try to overwhelm this opponent with just sheer numbers and frustration, probably. Orange player has a massive. The yellow player has a massive reserve of resources. Doesn't have all this pierce range damage. Now it's getting that now. Orange is missing a lot of upgrades, including melee armor as well as melee attack. Yellow could stand to have less villagers at this moment in time. He has probably too many at the moment. He has plenty of income. He's only need to deploy out a minimal army. He's just trying to stream on into his opponent. And Orange is having trouble maintaining the front line. More and more of these forces pushing way forward, trying to find more breaches. Orange is trying to build a whole bunch of outposts here for his castle network. More and more knights being put up by Yellow. He's just going to stream and attack his opponent with just sheer numbers of knights. Just going straight into his opponent's base, just trying to frustrate his opponent. We do not have the king here to defend his people. Knights, however, still streaming on in. He's having severe trouble. He needs crossbowmen, honestly. One of these outposts has been complete. And he has to pass Castle Network, losing a large number of villagers now. Orange now has half the villager population of his opponent. He does have a small field of resources, but not enough to really compete with his opponent. Yellow's now advancing forward with some keeps around his opponent's perimeter. Cannoneers are of course good. They have 42 damage per range. They don't care what they shoot at. But also maybe a little bit more economical, though we may not have the research for them. Like the elite research. Yellow's not trying to fall back and regroup. Still got these knights riding around. Orange needs to pull out more villagers. He has villagers queued up on his town centers. He's been solely relying on 2 town centers production, and that's it. He's not going to recover quick at all. It's going to take him, say both of them will pull out 15, get up to 30, getting him a little less than a 100. Villagers take 20 seconds. It's going to take him what? 15 divided by 5 minutes? Which doesn't really have that time. He also needs these guys back to the Abbey Kings, get these guys healed up. They're very, very wounded. Do not have a siege workshop being plotted here. Do you see a forward town center for emergency repair capability? We do not. Got more fortified, more cannon placements. Lots of cannon placements being deployed on out over here. And this is farming line. You could retest some of these villagers to be on the far side over here. Got a nice mixed force here as well. Including some Landsknechts, which are a light unit. But, so I guess since he has account for crossbowmen, the hand cannons will do just fine against them. Or it's not playing out a big wave of battery rams. It's a good idea, but these villagers can say no to them. Got these man-at-arms, getting some good damage there onto these man-at-arms. Wide Guard footmen charging forward. They're, of course, a very good unit. But these Magnos getting some great hits there on these forces. I think Orange does have a superior number here. Outposts being pulled on out. These battery rams has been forcing back. Do now have some bombards being pulled out as well. More outposts being pulled on out. We got, what the hell? There are 6 Mangonels right there. He doesn't have the population room to support that, does he? He has income, that's for sure. In fact, he has nearly 15,000 food. It's pretty close to getting enough resources for a wonder. Those walls do go down there to the cannon placements, as well as the bombards. He's now going for no town center here for emergency repairs. Emergency repairs is an ability he has not used in the entire game, but of course he can give his guys additional health. Did I just hear a monk? Man-at-arms are trying to charge him forward, trying to deal with these villagers to save his battering rams. But let's keep looking like Low stay up. He has not researched anything to increase health buildings. Yeah, he's not going for a court architects now. Yellow's now claimed the gold on the front line. He has plenty of gold reserves. This simply denies him gold. Wine Guard pass going down. Trying to go with the Wine Guard army. The trebuchets will be very handy indeed, but no longer. Hand Cannoneers getting some great damage there onto these Landsknechts. Last of the battery rams will be cleaned on up there. He has not set the building ablaze. Villagers have gone down. A couple more torch hits and he will set the keep ablaze. Now he can punch it back on off. Yellow has a massive army here. Yellow has lost some villagers, actually is a boon for Yellow. So many Mangonels here, ripping apart these men-at-arms. Elite horsemen being streamed on in as well, trying to go straight for the villagers. Longbowmen advancing forward with some of the hand cannoneers. And some of this infrastructure started going down. The Landsknechts are, of course, vulnerable to the longbowmen. They actually start with no pierce armor. Great hits there into some of those forces, but there's just too many Mangonels here. This entire infantry force is doomed against those Mangonels. The man-at-arms do find an angle there to take out one of the Mangonels. Yellow's not going for a forward keep. If he throws out a forward town center as well, then that's going to be a very, very hard to kill keep. This keep has burnt down. There's a couple man-at-arms up on this wall. Yellow's streaming in more and more forces here. Yellow can outlast opponent economic-wise. Danish player's down to 100 population. He's down to 20 million units. He's lost a large number of villagers. Got these horsemen going around uncontested. He's right now his opponent. I mentioned before, and he's trying to overwhelm his opponent by hitting multiple angles once, and he's doing a good job of that even now. More and more of these man-at-arms charging forward. Banner rams cleaning up these keeps. So we got a bombard tower here. And we got some now yellow banner rams. Now some of this other infantry starting to get hit as well. Hitting his opposed flanks. Orange advancing forward, trying to deal with these various man-at-arms. But these man-at-arms now going straight for the mills. But the problem is there's nobody actually collecting the mills at the moment. Going for the town center wouldn't be half bad. He actually has built another town center there. Seeing more fire. We got these man-at-arms getting off some mangonels. We got these bombards advancing forward. There's a large wave of bombards. He should really just spoil out Wonder just in case as well. Danish player's down to his minimum reserves. He's low on food, low on wood, low on gold, no stone. And now with these bombards here, all of his opponents, all of the Orange's infrastructure will go down. He does have a large wave of battering rams there, but does not have enough escort. And Orange hold goes on down on those bombards, and Orange has backed out of the game now. This is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. So honestly, guys, I'm getting a little bit hungry now. I need to get some dinner to me. So everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Get some good rest, and